Hey, everybody. Welcome to Comic Book Curation Live. I am Polly, and join me, as always, is Inquisitor 8.1 Quiz. How the hell are you doing?
I'm all right. Just a little tired. Trying to catch up on sleep.
And rounding out our triumphant of awesome, despite the internet trying to stop him, is Jack from Bad Comic Reviews. Jack, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I have become awash in IRL family shit that stormed in out of nowhere about an hour and a half ago. So it's all right though. It's fine. It's fine. You know, taking care of things.
Tell him you got important shit to do, like talk about comic books online.
That's what I did say. I said,
okay.
I was like, come on, man, I got to go online and yammer about SJW is trying to destroy an industry you know nothing about nor care about. It's don't worry about it. But yeah, we will be. Functional says that's why you need guns, Polly. Yeah, for randomly visiting family members from out of town, right? That's why everyone keeps guns.
Get off my lawn, family.
That's why I keep them.
But Jack has an unstable Wi-Fi. Well, actually, I blame the internet, not the Wi-Fi. I think they're just trying to shut us down because we keep it too real.
We're too raw.
And Quiz has been getting short sleep all week, and I have some shit that I got to go run take care of. So we're going to do an abbreviated show instead of our usual 2.5 hour epic.
I'll say also, I think, do you want to put out the plan at least, or wait until
in terms of pitches?
Yes.
Yeah, we will not be doing comic book pitches tonight, even though I know that's everyone's favorite part of the show. But that's okay, because we will be doing it later on this weekend as a surprise with a special edition live stream that we normally don't do. But hey, fuck it, we're gonna have a special guest, so I think it's worth it. So we'll keep that under wraps. What's going on? Little teaser for you. But yeah, we won't be doing pitches tonight, but we will be doing them later on in the week, or rather the weekend. And Jacob Jet says about damn time. Well, Jacob, we are here to make sure that you're entertained, so I'm glad we were able to help you.
Are you not entertained?
So let's start out where we always do for good times, the thumbnail. And for those of you who haven't seen it already on the Twitter, there it is. We have Catwoman this week. I had not ever seen this image before. Last week when Quiz said, hey, have you ever seen this? And I was like, fuck no, I want a copy of that. Send me one.
I'll say for some of you out there wondering where Polly gets his images, I browse 4chan quite a bit, and there was a comic book cheesecake thread, and I saved a whole bunch of them, and that's where this one came from.
This one was specifically from that 4chan thread?
Yep.
Nice. I like this one a lot because I dig that costume. It reminded me so much of her animated series costume, which it totally is. But then you guys got into you guys explain. You can explain it a lot better than I can. The origin of his costume. Jack, are you there? Oh God! Did the internet steal him?
Oh no!
Oh, he muted.
Oh.
No, God damn it! The internet's stolen Jack.
Well, I can I guess blurb about that. So yeah, that's actually let's see here. Sorry, I wasn't prepared. I was not prepared.
Yeah, well, Randy Monkey gets off on saying he's the least professional monkey on the internet. Well, he ain't got none on us. We're the
least
professional triad on the internet. We got them tripled out of style, man.
Well, we're the least prepared comic book.
Oh yeah, by far. I don't know. Yeah. And I know I said it before, but I'll say it again. Tug, that umbrella guy. For those of you who don't watch, he's got a great channel. He's one of my favorite comics YouTubers. That guy's annoyingly organized.
Hang on,
and he claims to be disorganized, and when he does late night streams drunk, and they're still 3 times as organized as anyone else's. It's really frustrating. Jack, you back
for now?
Oh, sweet.
Apparently they don't like the Yeti microphone over on Hangouts. So,
jeez,
what a mess.
So you guys were talking about the Catwoman animated series costume. By all means, go ahead.
Well, you want me to go or you want to go?
Go for it, Jack.
Okay. Well, the costume is actually a mishmash of 2 costumes. The first is the 1960s Batman costume. That's where the belt comes from, and probably the leather gloves. And am I going to be able to screen share this? And then the other costume, the main costume that it gets from, is the 1989 miniseries Catwoman costume, as you can see here.
Yeah, the one with the whiskers.
Yeah. So they just adjusted this one and mashed it with the belt from the 60s show and put the front piece as darker and gave her gloves. That's what it looks like anyway.
I like Ryan Walters. He said, "You guys are the doomsday clock of YouTube comic sphere. You make a great product, but run into setbacks all along the way."
Pretty much.
I like that. I like that.
Holy shit. Can you imagine how late our streams would have to be to actually be comparable to Doomsday Clock?
I don't know. It's a bit of a coin toss some days.
Well, here, I found this real quick. This is part of Real Rundown. Real spelled R-E-E-L. This is the costumes of Catwoman throughout the years. You got the the first costume of Catwoman.
Are you fucking serious? Look at that. Where does it say what issue that's from?
That is from 1940, issue of Batman #1, simply known as The Cat.
Oh man, that sucks balls.
Look at the boot to head ratio. Her boobs are gigantic compared to that.
She definitely has no neck.
Yeah.
But here's her first costume. This is a Catwoman wearing a dress and a cape.
Okay. It's
That's
a little redundant, a dress and a cape, but
Yeah,
I like it.
It's kind of weird, not gonna lie.
It's breezy.
Oh yeah,
But she does have the cat with her, which is nice.
Mhm,
You know, it's,
mhm.
Well, yeah.
Let's say I think this is actually a re-rendition of that costume in like modern rendering, because I don't remember any of the when was that one? It's from 1947. I don't remember 1947 comic books looking like that. So yeah. Anyway, we got the green cat suit. Lasted only 2 years, in 1954 to 1966. There was not that much when it came to that costume being available. Then you have the 1969 to 1974, where she was like, I don't know, go-go rocker?
that's exactly what it looks like. I'm like, her go-go outfit. Nice.
Yeah. The purloined pearl. And then you've got the cat suit, the probably her most iconic one, the one that Jack was showing. And then she had her own comic where she got that version, but only purple. And then 2001 and Beyond is the one with the cat suit with the half zipped up unibard.
The mass boobage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like the goggles.
I kind of do. I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool.
So she's
I'm not gonna lie, I dug her outfit in Dark Knight Rises.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
I mean, she was never called Catwoman in it, but
No.
nonetheless, I liked it.
And so you got the one where her goggles flipped up to become cat ears.
Yeah, that was some nice production design or wardrobe design. It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
The a couple things are going on in chat. Chaos Eve says, make a Streamlabs, Polly. I am well set up and on the way. As a matter of fact, I was making plans early this morning when all of y'all were sleeping. It was, 7 a.m. and I'm fucking around online, get my shit together. So it's all good. On top of which, I got another couple of edited videos on the way. Some by myself, some with these guys. So it's a massive material coming out where I'm going to feel justified having a Streamlabs. You know what I mean? And a few people referenced what I was saying, like Tug likes to drink on stream and he's still more organized than all of us. And then it's like, yeah, so you should drink on stream, or you're jealous you can't drink on stream. And then somebody said, yeah, Polly gets high a lot. Yeah, man. When it comes to ephedrine and the various decongestants that I take because of my vertigo, because of the vertigo I've been dealing with over the past few months, fuck, man, I get out of sorts and high enough on stream, man. I don't need to start drinking too. Jesus.
That's a terrible combination.
How about this? Next week, I'll drink for you. It'll be fine.
Well, Jack, you remember when we were on Monkey in the Morning and Monkey was like drunk as fuck?
Yep.
Yeah, two sober people and one drunk person to laugh at. That's a great idea. Yeah, quiz. Come on, you'll drink, we'll laugh. It'll be a good time.
Well, see, that's the thing is that when I drink, I'm usually being laughed at, but I'm in on the joke too, so it's perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, I mean, Monkey didn't feel hard done by, and Cynical Lindsay says Vertigo sucks. You're goddamn right, it does, man.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, you had V for Vendetta was published on Vertigo. Fables was published.
Oh, fuck off, quiz.
I thought he was gonna say it's like a roller coaster you're not paying for.
Well, yeah.
You know what I find interesting is that I get laid with this Creative Streamlabs, and fair enough. I like that people are pushing me to get a Streamlabs. It shows that they're interested in you getting one, and that's a good thing. And it's get your ass in gear kind of thing, and that's cool. But I think we should all start pushing Inquisitor to get a Streamlabs, because if there's anybody who needs to be doing material on their own channel, it's Quiz. I mean, he's got 40K ideas coming out the wazoo and doesn't do jack about it.
Yeah,
I think he needs a subtle push.
I have been doing that. Like I had that idea to make a video with a model beginning to end, that Razorback.
Right. Yeah.
I've got all the footage filmed for the cutting of the sprue and assembling of the model. Now I'm just going to do the painting and then final assembly and then finishing. And then, yeah. Then it's all the editing, but yeah.
Ryan Walters asks, have you considered killing girl names Perdita to cure Virgo? What? Do you guys want to take a shot at deciphering that shit?
I'm staying out of this one.
Hang on.
Speaking of Catwoman and Dark Knight Rises, I believe it was. I'm just scanning for the comment here. And, Ryan Walters, I believe it was Ryan Walters who said it. Anyway, I remember when this poster, I found it online, and I'm like, oh, please tell me that was a real poster for Dark Knight Rises, please. It wasn't.
No, but I mean, Anne Hathaway's butt looks nice. She may be retarded, but she's got a nice looking butt.
Yeah, thank you for getting there before I had to. Like, Anne Hathaway is hot as hell, but it's too bad she's so damn stupid.
Yeah, she's dumb and she's got a smile like the Joker.
I'm okay with it.
Midnight Exile says, kick Polly. Well, can't do it. Sorry. It's actually impossible this time.
Yeah, he's hosting the stream.
Yeah, you kick me, it comes to an end. So,
Oh, no.
Now, speaking of costumes and their development over time, I've been reading a hell of a lot of different series over the past little while, including Daredevil. And I thought, what better way to start reading Daredevil then instead of I read a graphic novel, and I thought, is this really the way that I want to do it? Because it was a collected edition of like 5 issues from a certain story arc, and I thought, no, fuck it, I'm starting at number 1, and I'm going to read from the beginning, and that's what I've been doing, and it's been a good time. It's delightfully late 60s corny. You know what I'm talking about here?
Mm-hmm.
You get Matt Murdock, and he's at a party where like nobody knows him. And Matt Murdock, for those of you who don't know, that's the blind lawyer who is Daredevil. Nobody knows who he is, and he's at this party, and some criminals break in and they want to rob everybody. And Murdock says to himself in a thought bubble, it's too bad I can't slip into a closet and change into Daredevil. And I'm like, dude, just kick their asses. Like, what do you need to put the costume on for? It doesn't even make sense. But it's 1960s comics, so it does make sense. And I was loving it.
To be fair, I mean, if he started kicking ass as Matt Murdock, then people are gonna be like, why is that blind lawyer kicking everyone's ass?
So that's a good point. Yeah, I guess he'd kind of be outed at that point. Not that he didn't out himself later.
That's fine. He'll just be a homeless man in San Francisco.
Shut up. We're decades off from that nightmare.
Yeah.
But as you guys know, like, Daredevil has his all red outfit, right? And he's gone through some costume changes, but he's most well known for the all red outfit. This was his original yellow and red swashbuckler outfit. Random trivia quiz for you guys. At what issue did he switch into his red costume? How long did he actually stick with the yellow and red swashbuckler?
It was around the time of me not caring.
Jack would be the worst Trivial Pursuit player. Every time he gets a question, it's like, I don't fucking care.
Read my lips. I don't fucking care. I would venture a guess probably around the 70s. 70 something.
Around the 70s?
Yeah.
And Jack doesn't give a fuck.
It was pretty early on.
It really was. And I was surprised to find out it was that early. There he is, changing into his costume. That's the first time you see him in the red. And it was an issue number 7.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I thought I was going to get at least 2 years, up to issue 24 of him in the red and yellow. Nope. By issue 7, he was already in the full-blown red. I was really surprised. Oh, Jack's gone. God damn it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Ryan Walters says it's a DC reference. Count Vertigo attempts to assassinate his niece, Queen Perdita of Vlatava, to gain the throne. That was a really good animated short for anyone that is unaware. That was a Green Arrow animated short that they put out for the DC Showcase. It was an extra feature on a DVD for, I believe, a Shazam cartoon. But you can see it on YouTube for free. They have it up there. They have it on the DC Comics YouTube channel. Absolutely check it out. It's brilliant. It's so well animated, so well acted. The Malcolm Merlin, the Black Arrow, is voiced by Malcolm McDowell. Yeah. And full circle, there's a Catwoman DC showcase, and it's really good.
Cool. Hey, Quiz. I'll be back. Just a hot second. You're in charge.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Quiz in charge.
That's a mistake. So, yeah, well, what about the DC cartoons? I know that they did a second Suicide Squad, which I absolutely refuse to watch because, what's her name? Oh, God. Tara Strong is Harley Quinn, and I refuse. But what other DC Comics cartoons have come out recently? Let's see here.
I don't know.
I say normally I'm usually up to it, or up on all of that. But
did you see the trailer for Swamp Thing?
I did. That looks so good.
It does. I'm worried because a lot of their other stuff looks like garbage. Oh yeah, Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're doing an animated movie of that.
Are they? Interesting. Yeah. I wonder which comic they're going to be going with, because there was one that was like pretty much under the stable of who owns TMNT? Dynamite?
Mirage Studios owns it, but IDW's got the rights.
IDW, okay, yeah. There were 2 comics that back in the day before they did a sequel to it. That was Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it was interesting because they had one group of people that made the comic from DC, and then another group that made it from IDW. And the IDW one was actually all of the people that were doing that were using the current Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic or cartoon canon on Nickelodeon, so they all looked like that.
Oh,
but the best part about it was that I couldn't really care for. I don't really like that style too much. But all of the Batman characters were animated series Batman, so I was all like, okay, nice. I'm into this. Yeah,
the chat's telling us that Hush is getting an animated movie too.
Ooh, that would be good.
Oh, yeah, Frosted Glasses got a good idea. Can you do do a series on your channel called Things I Refuse to Watch?
We'll see. And say, I think that could be kind of interesting, is to find that kind of stuff that I have unpopular opinions on, and give my unpopular opinions and why I have the unpopular opinion.
Yeah, I'll watch it just to hit thumbs down.
Yeah, I know.
That's cold. That's cold.
Well, it's like Polly with every other stream that I'm on. That's fine.
What? Did I show up in thumbs down?
Yeah.
It's different when I do it.
Oh, okay.
So did the yeah, I've got a few kind of off-topic things to talk about, like meaning not particular stories, but then there's actually a fuck ton of stories going on this week. Here, let's start with this one because it's kind of depressing. I mean, no one thought that we would be talking about abortion on our comic book stream, right?
No.
Oh
No.
God.
Jesse
But
Green just
here
said
we
that
are.
Tara Strong is going to be in the Batman versus TMNT. So long as it's Batgirl and not Harley.
Here's a story from Bleeding Cool, so you know it's going to be unbiased and well balanced. Bob Iger on Disney, Star Wars, Marvel Studios Productions leaving Georgia. Everyone's got to signal some virtue now.
True.
I have a feeling the conversation was something like this. Bob Iger gets a phone call in his like gold-plated office, and they say,
Right.
"Yo, Bob, everybody's leaving Georgia. We got to make it sound like at least we're considering leaving Georgia to not do productions there." And Bob's like, "Do we do productions in Georgia?" and then the answer, the person probably said, "I don't know. Like, even if we don't, we should say we shouldn't." And he's like, "Right. Okay, why?" He's like, "Because in Georgia, Bob, like, do you think Bob gives a fuck about any of these things? I don't believe that he does. You know, you don't run a multi-billion-dollar empire." And
Bob Iger
Anyway.
is the epitome of everything that is wrong with the entertainment industry. So yeah, I'm absolutely certain he doesn't know or give a fuck about any of this.
but he's virtue signaling because that's what you do, like you said, for the entertainment industry.
Mhm.
You know, Disney CEO Bob Iger just commented on the position of the House of Mouse and their numerous franchises continuing to film in Georgia if the state's recently passed hard stance on abortion goes into effect in 2020. Iger commented to Reuters during a chat at the Anaheim Disneyland Park ahead of the kickoff ceremony for their new themed land, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Jesus Christ, can you imagine? So here we are opening up this Star Wars theme park. Hey, Bob Iger, should women be able to kill their children? Like, holy fuck. Like, I know Anakin killed a bunch of younglings, but they're talking about something different now. This is, anyway.
Fucking younglings. What a stupid name.
You didn't even watch that movie. You can't complain.
Yes, I can complain. God damn it. That is stupid.
According to Bob Iger, he didn't see how it's practical for us to continue to shoot there. If the law, which would ban abortions for any reason, passed the detection of a fetal heartbeat, usually around 8 weeks, and enact harsh penalties if violated, not for the women, only for the doctors, does go into effect. I rather doubt we will. Yeah, that's a hardline stance, all right. I rather doubt and not sure if we can conceivably do so. This has been a subject several of the big player studios haven't addressed yet as a whole, and we are instead leaving it up to various productions to make their own decisions. Netflix, however, has been very outspoken on the matter. We have many women working on productions in Georgia who randomly get pregnant during productions. Anyway, whose rights, along with millions of others, will be severely restricted by this law. Netflix's chief content officer, Ted Soyboy, said to Variety in an exclusive statement, quote, "It's why we all work with the ACLU." Oh, Jesus. That didn't give you credibility, Ted.
For Frosted Glass,
Really?
if abortions were illegal, The Last Jedi couldn't have been made.
That's true.
Let's see. It's why we work with the ACL and others to fight it in court. Given the legislation has not yet been implemented, we'll continue to film there, while also supporting partners and artists who choose not to. Choose not to? We'd end your sentence with a preposition. Should it ever come into effect, we'd rethink our entire investment in Georgia. Like, I mean, isn't that an interesting statement? I mean, it's signaling at some time, some point, maybe we'll go ahead and do these things, yet all over bullshit media, it's Netflix takes a hard line stance.
Well, you know, they get massive tax breaks for filming in Georgia. That's why they film in Georgia.
Sure.
So them threatening to leave is nonsense. They're going to either stay and get the tax breaks or go film somewhere else for waste more money. That'd be stupid, but they're putting this out now to look like they're doing something and whine about it.
And I love the idea that Netflix, however, has been very outspoken on the matter. We'll continue to film there. Should it ever come into effect, we'll rethink. Well, that's Jesus Christ, man. That's a megaphone from a mountain high top right there. Outspoken, no kidding.
Yeah, no, that's classic condemnation right there. If it ever affects us, we'll be sure to say something about it.
There, that's a great summary. If it ever affects us, we'll be sure to say something. Yeah, that's perfect. Quote from Iger: I think many people who work for us will not want to work there, and we will have to heed their wishes in that regard. Right now, we're watching it very carefully. After somebody called me and told me that I should say that we do.
Iger, you could not give the slightest modicum of a fuck. You're just going to be sitting there counting your money in your lavish office that you didn't earn.
Disney-owned properties like the extremely lucrative Marvel Studio titles and the Star Wars films.
Bum, bum, bum.
Ouch. Did you see the distinction that they implied there? Think about this. Disney-owned properties like the extremely lucrative Marvel Studios films and Star Wars, which is not in the same category as extremely lucrative. Thank you, Kathleen Kennedy. And numerous upcoming Disney Plus live action titles, and more already filmed in Georgia, making use of Pinewood Atlantis Studios. It will be interesting to see if this encourages the state, which offers a large tax break incentive to studios to film there, to revisit the law. Oh, that's right. Use finances to see if you can pressure them into changing a stance. And a bill written by 3 women, I might add. But anyway, yeah. Far be it from me to take political stances, unlike our outspoken Bob Iger here. Fucking guy. Anywho, let's go on to a story that doesn't involve abortion.
That's not me this time.
That's me. The train just reached me.
Instead of talking about abortion literally, let's talk about it figuratively. Tom King is off Batman, but he will continue the Bat-Cat romance in Batwoman and Batwoman, Jesus. In Batman and Catwoman series.
Man, Batwoman and Catman, that would be an interesting duo.
Wait a minute.
So she's
Why haven't they done that gender flip already? Well, it's not written by Marvel.
No, Catman's a public domain character, that's why.
Catman is a DC character.
They have one, but the character's public domain because it's an old I forget who used to own it. But yeah, Catman itself, the orange and yellow costume guy, that's a public domain character. DC adopted it, but they don't actually own the name Catman. That's why you don't see him much anymore.
Well, he was part of Green Arrow for a while. He was a big linchpin in the villains crashing Green Arrow and Black Canary's wedding.
Yeah. DC has a Catman character, but they don't own it. It's a public domain character.
Well, okay, because I'm seeing right here, publication history. Catman first appeared in Detective Comics 311, 1963, created by Bill Finger and Jim Mooney.
But
so this is well after DC had already bought up all of the characters that would become public domain. You know, I'm just saying. I'm like the thing that's getting me is the fact that, you know, even if, you know, this is your cup of tea, I don't think that it's Batwoman's cup of tea. It's too few labias and too few breasts.
Hold on, let me see.
Just saying.
That's Catman?
Yes. He's got the 3 tiger stripes on his chest. Ooh.
And Jack's over there. He's probably talking, but we can't hear him. Oh, he's muted himself. That's why. Catman.
You muted yourself, Jack.
I'm not going to lie. That's not a very imposing costume. Just saying.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. I think Jack's the Catman that Jack is bringing up is a superhero. Catman in the DC universe has always and ever been a villain.
Yeah. Well, The advantage of Jack constantly dropping out is that, you know, you can say some shit and make it seem like you totally shut him down and took the words right out of his mouth, when in reality it's just not his mic working. But take advantage, Quiz. You totally destroyed him on that Catman thing.
I know, right? God.
I hate Hangouts so much.
Oh, Hangouts is awful.
Oh man, Chrome is awful. Don't be specific.
That's true. Here's Catman that I'm talking about. This is the public domain Catman. He has a sidekick called the Kitten.
Yeah.
Now see, Batwoman's gonna date him to get to the kitten.
Okay, that makes infinitely more sense. Got
That's the point I was saying, but nobody was hearing because talking into the ether.
No, I don't believe you. I think Quiz just shut you down hardcore.
That's cool. No, this is the public domain Catman.
Yeah, that's the like I said, I think that's the Catman that was based around, or he was a hero, right?
Yeah,
because
Catman and Kitten. Oh my god.
Yep.
The DC Catman, always and ever a villain.
Yeah. See, that's how they got away with it.
Yeah.
Because this was published in 1940 by Tem Publishing, and it's one of those weird ones that fell into public domain that nobody remembers anymore.
I think people should bring it back.
Yeah, he's in Exciting Comics. I pitched that one a couple weeks back from Antarctic Press.
Gotcha. Okay, interesting.
I think he was in Project Superheroes too, but Dynamite.
For those of you who don't remember, we were talking about Tom King, possibly rumored to be, but almost certain to be getting the boot after number 85. And that, yeah, there it is. DC Comics confirmed that writer Tom King will no longer be writing Batman past issue 85. Woo!
Yay!
But he's going to get his own 12-issue miniseries. So
yes. Way to jump to the quiz.
I think Tom King just really wants to write a Catwoman story, which more power to him. I mean, if he really likes the character and wants to tell interesting stories about Catwoman, go for it. But from what Jack was telling me, at least, because I didn't read any of those comics, I didn't. I don't make enough money to be able to get every issue of Batman.
They're garbage.
Yeah, it's like everything I was hearing about his, from his channel, all the issues about Batman I was watching, or all the episodes about Batman that I watched. It was just, oh god.
Well, let's see. DC Comics confirmed that King would be off Batman. They announced a new 12-issue Batman/Catwoman series that will continue the ongoing Bat-Cat romance. 12-issue series will be written by Tom King, boo, and art by Clayman. Okay, cool. They will pick up after King's City of Bane arc concludes in Batman number 85. Quote, Batman and Catwoman is a chance to do what Morrison and Quitely did in Batman and Robin. Launch an ambitious, accessible, beautiful, thrilling new series that concludes years of stories and defines what Batman is, can, and will be, said Tom King. This will be a comic. I mean, that was some like prospectus promotional material nonsense. Like you haven't said anything. Anyway, this will be a comic about what the best Batman comics have always been about. How our greatest hero turns fear into bravery, pain into hope, trauma into love, and won't seek therapy despite the... Oh, wait a minute. That's...
right. No, you're right. You're right the first time.
It's the story I always wanted to tell, and I'm telling it with the man I consider to be the greatest artist in comics, my brother, Clayman.
Ugh.
All right.
Man King.
I don't think Man's a bad artist at all.
No, I don't either. I think Clayman's actually really good.
Yeah. But he's getting saddled with this psychotherapy journal. Oh, I feel bad for him. That nightmare.
Yeah, but see, this is what I'm starting to think, because people are talking about the Tom King with his need to show heroes broken down and psychologically affected and having, not erectile dysfunction, but sure as hell seeming like they do. They're afraid of this, afraid of that. They've got 1,000,001 little quirks and neurotic tendencies that are eating away at them inside of their head. And it sounds more like King is projecting onto the page than anything. But yet he's always got this Batman Catwoman thing running where they're going to get together. They were meant to be together, but they can't be together. And it leads right up to the moment. And then she leaves him at the altar, etc., etc. What's going on in your romantic life, King?
I think his mom doesn't love him.
We got YouTube psychologists over here. All right. Okay.
Right. King stated, "It's tough to leave Batman," he added. "It's a gift and a joy to be on that book, but I'm leaving the work on the biggest, most ambitious projects of my career. Comics I get to make with the best collaborators in comics, and that's a gift and a joy too. Yay." I am curious about this one line down here where DC Comics Bob Harris in a press conference said the following. DC editor-in-chief Bob Harris explained, quote, "We're making changes to our comic book publishing line to set DC up for continued success. We're starting with the best-selling Batman comic after City of Bane wraps up in December. City of Bane is an incredible story and an integral part of an overall Batman Year of the Villain campaign and a new Tom King, blah, blah, blah." He added, "We're excited for fans to get more of what they love from DC with," this is promotional. I was hoping he was going to say what the overall vibe of their change is, what the stated goal of you're changing from what to what. Give it a description. I would be very interested to hear from the EIC those kind of descriptions. Where do you think DC's at? Give it a description, and you're wanting to change it to why, because, for what reason? You see what I'm saying? I'd like to hear somebody say that. We think DC's going in this direction and it's not successful, or it's run its course because of these following 3 reasons. So we're going to change over to this because we think it'll be more interesting. Instead, you just get them naming Detective Comics, Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood, Outlaw, Batman, and the Outsiders. And it's like, but you're just naming series. You're not telling us why you're doing anything. I don't know. Thoughts, gentlemen? No? Yes? Quiz typing away. Internet fucking jack over.
I'm responding to Cynical Lindsay. So
the quiz is caught up with Cynical Lindsay. In the meantime, we are going to move on to an article here that I wanted to talk about. IDW, for those you don't know, is a smaller comic book publisher.
No.
IDW announces new Marvel action title, Captain Marvel.
IDW, are you not already in debt enough?
Well, I hear you. I mean, for those of you who don't know, IDW is, they are deeply, deeply in debt. They own a fuck ton of great licenses or have the legal contract for a number of great properties to publish comics on. And we have been predicting, as especially Jack has been making the great case of this, that Marvel will not fold in on itself despite its dropping sales that go down and down and down.
I don't think Disney will let them.
Yeah, they're not going to fold because Disney has deep pockets. What's going to end up happening is they're going to farm out their characters to be published in comics by other companies. They've already farmed out one series for Spider-Man to IDW, and now they're farming out a second series, Captain Marvel. Interesting.
Mustafa said IDW equals in debt weekly. Yes, they are. I like that.
I'm going to tweet that. I'm going to tweet that at Tug.
Yeah, Tug will like that one.
Here we go. IDW Publishing announced a brand new Marvel action comic title, Captain Marvel, with that really rich title. The book will be written by Sam Maggs. My condolences. With artwork by Sweeney Boo. Okay. And colors by Brittany Peer. Here's the official synopsis. Sweeney Boo. There it is. You're a grown man who calls yourself Inquisitor. Who are you laughing at?
I'm not Sweeney Boo. That's who I'm not.
Stop laughing. You're making me laugh. Okay, Okay, it sounded funny to me, but you just made it a lot funnier. Okay, anyway. Sweeney Boo will be doing the artwork. Here's their official synopsis. Carol Danvers, quiet night with BFF Jessica Drew. Oh God, it already sucks. It already sucks. She's got a BFF. Okay. Carol Danvers, quiet night with BFF Jessica Drew. They're totally not lesbians, guys. It's
Jessica Drew,
totally not.
Spider-Woman.
Yeah, I know. It says so right in parentheses.
I know. I just wanted to say it louder.
Yeah, one day we're gonna have a debate. Which came first, Spider-Man's alien costume, the symbiote costume design, or Spider-Woman's? Anyone nerdy enough to throw down on that one with me?
Nope.
Well,
No. Okay.
I don't know what girl GIRL is supposed to stand for, but Sam Maggs' Twitter says Sam, agent of girl.
Isn't Girl the group that is run by the fake Wasp in the new series?
Oh God, really? The one that just got canceled?
Yeah.
Her organization is called Girl?
Something like that.
I'm gonna look this up right now. I want to know.
Oh my God. Yeah, let me know when you find that. I'm curious myself. So anyway, we're going on with this. And Jack, like I was saying, remember your prediction that they're just going to start farming out more and more stuff? Marvel? Yep. Look at this. Both Spider-Woman and Captain Marvel going over to IDW for a new series now. It looks like your guess is coming to fruition here, man.
Yeah, it's an educated guess because they've already got 3 titles over there. And they're going to start doing Marvel Tales where they reprint classic stuff. That was solicited this last month.
Oh, man. Carol Danvers' quiet night with BFF Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, takes a catastrophic turn when Manhattan's bodegas, really? Are suddenly overrun by a host of angry felines. And not just any felines. Flurkins.
They had to work in cats.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Yeah, but these aren't just any cats. They're Flurkins, the most terrifying pocket dimension holding, tentacle devouring kitty look-alikes in the entire universe.
Bum, bum, bum.
Can Captain Marvel overcome the formidable foes before it's too late? Don't bother to tune in. So let's see. Is this Sweeney Boo talking here? No, this is Maggs. Okay, Sam Maggs. I feel so privileged to help launch Captain Marvel's solo title for Marvel Action, says Sam Maggs. Carol has always been my favorite superhero. Why? You fucking liar. I love how she's truly come into her own culturally, and it's finally being widely recognized. She's finally being recognized as the star she is. Okay. Being able to write for Carol is the most exciting and terrifying thing that's ever happened to me. I'm sorry to hear your life's been that uneventful. I can't wait to share this arc with everyone. Mag also noted the book will have lots of cats. Oh God, Chad, are you listening to this?
You made that part up, didn't you?
No, I'm not. It said, look, Mags also noted the book will have lots of cats right there at the end.
Now we know exactly who Sana Amanat is trying to make a lifestyle brand for. And it would be Crazy Cat Ladies.
Is Sam Maggs like Samantha Maggs? Is this a woman?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I'm just saying. Okay, I found some stuff on Agents of Girl.
Okay.
And this is some of the art in it. Oh my God. I'm just gonna
yeah, Ryan Walter says this comic will make excellent kitty litter. Yeah, and Vortex is like, Carol isn't anyone's favorite. Liar. No shit, right? Like, come on.
What is with this pseudo anime style where every single one of these characters looks fucking wall-eyed? She looks like a goddamn fish.
Yeah, that's Wasp. That's how they look now. That's how it looks in her title all the time.
And why do they have these big old DSLs? I mean, that is really bad writing too. That looks like a goddamn mustache. It looks like Groucho Marx and shit.
Don't steal frosted glass to shtick, Wasp.
Right?
Well, you know what? Sam Maggs here. Sam, agent of Girl, blue check mark because, of course. Look at this, Jack. Most of you know that Carol is my favorite superhero and has been for more than a decade since I've been reading comics.
Oh yeah, I know about that. I knew that.
Kelly Sue and M. Stoll are icons. This is Kelly Sue DeConnick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. She did a couple of iterations ago of Captain Marvel.
Okay. No. I'm just, if you think DeConnick is an icon, I completely believe you want to fill comic books with cats and Carl Manvers is a hero to you. I totally believe you.
Yep.
Oh no. Oh no. I've got something we can follow up with.
Fucking DeConnick, man. That woman is the seeping pustule on the fucking butt of comics.
Don't be so nice, Polly.
Well, okay, listen. I realize that sounds vicious, but it's in response to how angry, like very, very angry DeConnick is. Like, it brings it out of me. She sees everything as an oppression to women. She sees every creative outlet that she has as a means to promote her very weird oppression-laden ideology. Like Jack, you're with me. I was like, DeConnick's a weird person, right?
Oh yeah, she's a weirdo.
Like, remember her comment about Captain Marvel, the MCU film, when she said that fighting scene at the end, like the one where the No Doubt song starts playing, "I'm just a girl," where Captain Marvel's flying around doing all this bullshit.
Yeah.
She said, DeConnick said, women's studies majors and sociologists will be writing theses and studying that scene for years. I'm like, okay, first of all, I don't even think you're wrong, because women's studies majors don't have much other to do than bullshit like that. But it's an indication of just how sick you are, that you think that is worth academia's time, that federal funding should go toward subsidizing people who are spending their time watching "I'm Just a Girl." Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Okay. I've got some developments. I know what GIRL stands for.
Shit.
I'll leave it to everyone here to see if this lives up to the hype here. Stands for Genius in Action Research Labs.
Because the science. They like the science.
They loves the science, but first of all, that wouldn't be GIRL. That would be GIARL. GIRL. Because I noticed you didn't capitalize the action in Genius in Action Research Labs. All right.
Hate fact.
Yeah. I found this article.
Frosted Glass says.
Go
ahead.
No.
I was going to say, Frosted Glass says, to be fair, film schools study Triumph of the Will. You know what? I hear the point you're making. And film schools study the really early KKK film, Birth of a Nation.
Birth of a Nation, yeah.
Because the cinematography and stuff of it is devoid of its content. So there's lots of weird stuff to be studied there. My point isn't that somebody might be studying that, which I think is fucked to begin with, because there's lots of heroic women, especially heroically presented women in fiction, past Captain Marvel, which is so painfully contrived and artificially constructed, in my opinion. It's that DeConnick, who was a consultant for that film, would look at her own work and say, this will be studied for years because I'm just that deep and it's that meaningful. That's what blows my mind. You are so self-absorbed in your self-righteousness. It's wild to me. I mean, maybe other people don't see it that way, but DeConnick, hell no, man.
I just changed my Twitter profile name to Inquisitor 8.1, Agent of Giarl. So nice. There's that. But I found out about this because, oh my God, Do you want to go through the cancer? Do you want the cancer? Because I found
I don't
Disney
want cancer. Are you
I found a Disney fan site that says become a science hero with Marvel Comics Unstoppable Wasp and the Agents of Girl.
Ugh.
And of course, they got the one emasculated black guy off to the.
That's a
her
girl.
Is that a guy? I thought that was
No,
a girl.
that's a girl. That's a lesbian.
Okay. Never mind. I'm just saying. Usually it's a trope, and you'll see it up on Black Twitter and stuff like that, where they're like, "Look, another emasculated black male," right? Because if you don't believe me, I mean, sometimes that trope is true, like the identification of it, and sometimes it's not. But then you see things like the Bat Woman trailer for the CW show, and of course, Lucius Fox's son, I believe it's going to be. That's my guess, right? He's like this. Excuse me, but you're not allowed to go in there. And of course, she like pushes past him, like, forget you, motherfucker, and push, like he's nothing. He's this little pipsqueak, nasally voiced fucker.
And he is a man, Polly.
What's that?
He is a man. You gotta get right past them.
And it's like, we have to have the POC representation. And so it's like, who can we pick? Well, Lucius Fox is a little old. Now, Lucius Fox does indeed have a son who's like, canon. He's in a lot of different comics. Why they turned him into this pipsqueak pencil-necked soy boy, I have no idea. That's not who his character is. But it is when a whole bunch of whammons is writing the show.
Yep.
Yeah.
I noticed Peter asked inaction or inaction, meaning in action, performing an action, or inaction, meaning not performing an action. And
mostly the second one.
It is just going back to the same article here. It is in action, 2 words. So yes, everyone who's making fun of them, and especially me with Giarl, yes, it is in action. So it would be GIARL.
Well, I have 2 stories over here that are connected. For those of you who don't know about Vampirella, you's about to find out. Vampirella writer Christopher Priest educates Newsarama editor Chris Arendt on free speech. Now, if you go back through the various comic book curation live streams that we've done, Newsarama's come up before. It's shiltastic, awful as hell, total access media. They're garbage tier to the extreme. So I love it that they got it right in the face. Here we go with this story. Deathstroke writer Christopher Priest, who will also be taking on writing duties for the upcoming Vampirella series, shut down Newsarama's editors Chris Arendt after he insinuated Priest was bigoted. Because of course he did. In an interview with Newsarama promoting his upcoming Vampirella series, Christopher Priest was extremely honest about what the new series would entail. In fact, he noted that Vampirella will be arriving in the real world. To elucidate this point, Priest discussed how people would react when they saw Vampirella wearing her classic costume designed by Trina Robbins. Quote, the basic argument is simple. Where do you draw the line between women's liberation and women's exploitation? And who gets to draw it? Who gets to define femininity? And why should an extraterrestrial have to submit to that definition? He would go on to provide context on a number of real-world happenings, specifically the recent accusations against former Vice President Joe Biden. Quote, it's like the world woke up the last few years and realized we have actually 2 genders, and both of them matter. So we now have a heightened scrutiny of themes and behaviors that the poor bastard Joe Biden gets caught in the switches. I'll confess, I'm terrified of women because I'm a Joe Biden. I was taught to pay a lady a compliment and open doors, and I want to be friendly and accessible, but I'm absolutely terrified of having my good intentions taken in a bizarrely paranoid light.
To be fair, I don't think Christopher Priest sniffs people's hair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or whispers weird things in children's ears on camera.
Yeah.
Like, you seen that clip? My God, Joe.
Yeah.
It's... So, yeah, Vampirella. Soak it in, y'all.
And suck it in just a little bit.
Yeah, Vampirella is always drawn like this. For those of you who don't know, she's a pretty scantily clad individual, but whatever. He continued, quote, "It is comical to me that I am far too often seen as creepy by women, especially black women, because they have been conditioned by their personal experience and their media consumption to misinterpret a simple hello. These days, I cannot pay a woman a compliment without a legal preamble and assurances that no, I am not hitting on you, even though I get the skunk eye of suspicion." Oh no.
And now we see why men have such a hard time dating women nowadays.
Wow.
Thanks, feminism.
Which is a little insulting because this, quote, "guilty until proven innocent" defensive posture presumes I am other people, or that the bar is set too low for me, that I'll jump into bed with just about anybody I happen to meet. And it's like we've gone too far. Now, the point where women are not trying to be protected, but are being alienated to some extent because I have no earthly clue how to deal with them, and I'm frankly scared to shake their hand.
Ryan Walters, I wouldn't even sniff you.
Oh no.
Nice.
I'm going to keep that one in the back pocket for just the right occasion.
Yeah, I'm filing that one away for later use for sure. That's good. That's good. Okay. Priest makes it clear that he intends to use the classic Vampirella costume, as you see on your screen. Quote, the one thing I won't do is cover her up. I accepted the gig. Right, Vampirella. If you change the outfit, she's no longer Vampirella. Frankly, her costume is the only thing about her, well, okay, that and her pansexuality, that makes her all shocking and controversial. At all shocking or controversial. Priest then questions criticisms of Vampirella's costume while also praising celebrities like singer/rapper Lizzo and Beyonce.
Oh, Beyonce.
My goal, and the readers will have to let us know if we're passing or failing, is to make this a book as much about femininity as it is about blood sucking. Storyline is driven by women, mostly populated by women of all shapes and sizes and ethnicities, and most of them dress as sexy as they dare. The rapper singer Lizzo is a terrific example of this. Is her blatant sexuality liberating, or is she being exploited? How about Beyonce? Do we put Vampy in a raincoat but cheer Bay on? Ooh.
No.
Truth bombs!
No, the Beyonce is...
See what I mean? I'm
screwed
screwed either way. Yeah, you are. You're screwed either way, you horrible, disgusting, cis white male penis haver.
The Beyonce is always right.
In a follow-up question,
the dude
sharing a cab with Vampirella, Priest responds, I'd ask the driver to pull over and let me out. I'm a Christian, so I have these issues with all of that fornicating in your mind stuff. Now, guys, you get what you're getting at. I don't have a perfect life, but I try to avoid cluttering up my conscience. Among things on the printed page cannot convey is the amazing, intoxicating glow and, yes, smell of a woman. All women are beautiful from 8 to 80. Whoa, buddy. She said 18 to 80. That's a rough line, man.
Yeah.
18
we're
to
gonna
50,
be all over you for
maybe.
that. I realize you're using a piece of rhetoric there, but current year, clown world, come on.
Yeah, Hong Kong.
And regardless of weight, height, or nationality, I wouldn't share a cab with a woman as underdressed as Vampy, which sounds hypocritical because I'm writing her. But I write Deathstroke too, and I wouldn't share a cab with him either.
What are you talking about? Like,
Would you share a cab with Deathstroke, Quiz?
I'd reload his ammo for him.
Quiz?
Polly, can you not hear me?
I don't think you can hear
hello.
you.
Can the
Hey,
audience?
I'm telling you, it's Hangouts, dude. Can you hear me, Quiz?
So anyway, moving on.
I can hear you, yes.
Okay.
Following these responses, Aaron's would ask a number of follow-up questions. In his first follow-up question, Aaron asked Priest, yet sympathizing with Joe Biden without calling out the actual specific behavior under scrutiny for stating things like the amazing, intoxicating glow and, yes, the smell of a woman. And by offering, you're often seen as being creepy by women. It seems like intentionally inviting the sort of reaction/assumptions you state. You're afraid of and inviting the same scrutiny Biden is under. Okay, their quiz is back for me. That was a headphone problem. Excuse me.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say,
Was this your intent? Are you prepared for the pushback of your words and questions to be asked? So, Quiz, I didn't get to hear. Would you share a cab with Deathstroke?
yes, I said I'd reload his ammo for him. I also said I loved how they separated out the Bayons. They properly said her name.
Yes.
Mr.
I-
Bounce.
I think it's a great point. Like Beyonce dresses like hot pants, halter tops, massive cleavage, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, she dresses alluring and scantily. No, scanty. Yeah.
Scantly.
Yes.
No, scanty is a loan word. That's a word, isn't it?
Sounds like poop.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Jack.
Scanty is small or insufficient in quantity or amount. So yes.
You know what? Vortek has a really interesting point. That question almost sounds like a threat. Yep, I agree.
Yes, it does.
Was this your intent? Are you prepared for pushback to your words and the questions to be asked? Like, the brigade is coming, motherfucker. Are you ready for that? Like,
Yeah.
Brigade is real.
You know what I'm saying? Like it.
It's like, oh man, just you deigning to acknowledge that Vampirella exists means that you're POP. You're part of the problem.
So here's where shit gets hot. That's when Priest shuts down Arendt. He first points to his Joe Biden reference, noting that he mentioned Biden to make a point about quote, how hypersensitive and overly politicized our nation is and how it will impact Vampirella and his series. Yeah, in his series. Quote, wow, there's a lot to unpack there. But let's start by saying I seriously doubt anyone reading this is not aware of the Biden issue to which I am referring. I come neither to defend Biden nor to bury him. Really, you went Mark Antony with it? So I think you're probably taking my, quote, poor Joe reference a bit too seriously. I wasn't trying to litigate Biden, only make a point about how hypersensitive and overly politicized our nation is and how this will impact Vampirella in her series. Ooh. Well. So I'm just looking at covers. Never. Okay, so moving on. Whoa, look at that one.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, look at how those hands are pointing right at her boobies.
And vagina.
Yeah, just like that Female Furies cover.
Right? I love Jack's comment. How long have you been a wrong thinker, Mr. Priest? He then chides Arendt for taking his quotes out of context. Quote, assembling desperate quotes to paint me as some kind of deviant makes that point for me. I stand by my statements.
Good. Yeah.
He's got a lot of balls.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have a lot of balls because Arendt isn't wrong being like the shiltastic garbage tier website that Newsarama is. Like they publish social justice crap like that's the absolute norm and not a heightened ideological perspective from you and other psychos that you hang out with. You know, it's like, don't you realize that normal people, meaning all of my friends, are totally going to come down on you for this? I mean, there's people on Twitter that have nothing to do all day and no life whatsoever. They're going to come after you. You know, let's see. The amazing, intoxicating glow and yes, smell of a woman is something difficult, if not impossible, to convey in literature, which was my point. But if your question was about me sitting in a taxi with a near naked woman, and I answered you honestly, and my point was relevant to understanding the challenges and conflicts Vampirella will face in this series. I mean, this is honesty that I don't think a lot of interviewers they expect people to kowtow down under their social justice stick swinging. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, here's that phrase, like, SJWs swing a big stick. Yeah, they do. It's like, you're not racist, are you? No. Let me tell you about all the ways that I'm not racist. That's usually how it works, right?
That's the power exchange, right? Because when they say you're racist, the onus is then on you, the accused, to say that you're not racist. I hate it when these people love to sit there and say, well, I'm just saying you're racist. That doesn't mean that you need to get all angry or bent out of shape about it. It literally doesn't affect you. Motherfucker, yes, it does. Every single time that you have an unsubstantiated accusation about anything means that anyone else that is being accused has to respond. Otherwise, their silence is confirmation of your bullshit. Okay. And then when people sit there and say, well, no, I'm not racist, then what is that? Oh, that's just a dog whistle to say that you are. Get fucked. Every single one of you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think Vortex said it best in chat. Quote, there's a lot to unpack there equals, I now realize you're an idiot. Let me set you straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, like listen to this hot lead he's slinging here. Priest then makes it clear he was discussing the environment in which Vampirella will find himself in the new series. He was discussing the environment which Vampirella will find himself in it. I get what you were trying to write there. Is this Trent?
No.
Tell me this isn't Trent again. God damn it, it is. John F. Trent. Buddy.
Trent, get an editor.
Or, like we said before, dude, I love your website. Bounding into Comics rocks. No criticism for your content or anything like that. But you need to start copy editing, bro.
Yes. read your paragraphs out loud before you hit publish.
Oh, shit. I feel bad criticizing because I really do dig Bounding into Comics. But, man, you got to copy edit, man. You got to. In any case, in which Vampirella will find herself in the new series written by Priest. See, that's how you reorganize a sentence to have it make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, were a person like Vampy walking around in our world or riding a taxi with me, she would be misinterpreted and every word she says would be drilled into, looking for the worst possible interpretation of it. I can't help but wonder why anyone, anywhere, speaks publicly, because no words spoken by anyone can withstand this level of ridiculous scrutiny.
Yeah.
Hey, fucking men.
Vortex said, lol, recognized by your poor editing. How embarrassing.
Well, it's actually a fairly safe dice roll that it's Trent. He writes so much shit on Bounding. It's, you know, we had like a 60-40 chance of being right about that. Yeah. So anyway, all this, like, it goes on and on. Ooh, guillotine sexy. Mm-hmm. So the whole issue goes on, but what I thought was funny is we go over here. DC Comics Batman Secret Files writer Cheryl Lynn Eaton claims Dynamite is courting alt-right groups.
Oh God, get fucked!
Yeah, with Chris Priest, really?
DC Comics Batman series writer Cheryl Lynn Eaton took aim at Dynamite Entertainment, claiming someone at the company is, quote, actively courting alt-right groups. Eaton's claim comes after upcoming Vampirella writer Christopher Priest educated Newsarama's Chris Arendt on free speech during an interview promoting the forthcoming Dynamite Entertainment series. So she took to Twitter to discuss Priest and her view on why people support ComicsGate are embracing the Vampirella writer. She claims members of ComicsGate support Priest as, quote, cover for harassing non-conservative black writers in the industry. Fuck.
What does that mean? Show your proof. Show your fucking proof.
I support ComicsGate proudly. Go fuck yourself, Lee.
Well, I think Chris Priest is one of the only working writers that's even said anything back to these people. He's not even that conservative from what I could tell. And really, catering alt-right groups? Come on.
Like, well, no, the alt-right group is ComicsGate. That's exactly what she's saying.
Yeah, I know, but
it's tacit by omission, and I'm sick to death of this sort of thing. It's they label a thing, and then they will brook no other explanation or dissenting point of view, anything. It's zealotism, or is it zealotry? It's zealotry to the extreme, man. It's they're blind fucking crusaders, you know, charging into the fore, slaughtering women and children with absolutely no heed to the contrary that what they could be doing is possibly wrong in any way, shape, or form, or that they could be wrong.
See, this was an idea that I had for an edited video. And then I realized that I couldn't spend the time doing the research. Not that it would take very long. It'd be like an hour or so. But even that hour would be like the most depressing black pilling that I've engaged in for months and months. I want to do this thing where, like, okay, look, Cheryl Lynn Eaton, I know your stuff. You're not a bad writer. It's not what I'm saying. Okay. But to automatically go, well, ComicsGate, alt-right, and, anybody who supports, and, Christopher Priest is just trying to court these alt-righters like ComicsGate. Listen, you are woefully misinformed, Miss Eaton. Woefully misinformed by your friends on Twitter. You're either virtue signaling to seem like part of the in-group, meaning us are the good people, they are the ComicsGaters, the bad people, the alt-righters, the MAGA people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know how many people there are in ComicsGate that didn't vote for Trump? Like or hate white nationalism, kind of like I do.
Me.
I mean,
They've got
these things have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah.
Like it's I would love to, like, the video I was referencing would be, here are the worst thing that anti-ComicsGaters have said in terms of tweets and highlighted comments from articles. Anti-ComicsGaters, here they are. Here's the worst things that I can find that ComicsGaters have said. And you know what? They're both going to be absolutely fucking horrible because fringe people in any group say stupid shit.
But the difference being is that ComicsGate people don't have power to change an industry.
Right? And it's like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And I believe injecting my personal liberal progressive politics into my writing where it totally doesn't fit. It's ham-fisted as fuck. And it's okay. And then a bunch of people say, you know what? This is really ruining the quality of the comics and the quality of the storytelling. And I think you're putting too much of your real world politics into this. You fucking Nazi. Go to hell.
Well,
I'm a Nazi just because I don't want to hear about your liberal progressive politics in a comic that's like supposed to be about another fantastic world. Come on.
They're really upset about the fact that their Dynamite is changing things to try and drive more sales. They're not doing that well as a financial company, so they're trying to get bigger names on books like Priest on Vampirella. That's a big win for them. If this book does well, it could mean a big difference for their company. Plus, they got a variant cover with Cyberfrog coming out on it, which really pissed off a lot of these people, too. Yep. That's not courting alt-right groups, it's courting sales.
Well, and you know what's going on? I mean, that was a transgression that they couldn't accept. Like, Jack, you're right. To have Cyberfrog, for those you don't know, drawn by Ethan Van Sciver, who's definitely the most high-profile ComicsGate guy, to have him doing variant covers on that series is like big promotional value for them. But every one of the anti-ComicsGate quiz.
Oh.
That keyboard will work better if you actually pound the keys right through your table.
That was actually quieter.
God damn, you got strong fingers, man. You sculpt?
Well, yeah. I work with models all day, dude.
Well, okay. I meant like sculpt marble with your bare hands.
Oh, well, maybe I should try.
Anyway, I gotta say it. They've anti-ComicsGaters viewed that as a huge transgression. You did business with Van Sciver. Don't you know he's a Nazi? That was the reaction, man. In any case, let's see what happened on Twitter here. Just did a quick Google search and must report that Christopher Priest is now a ComicsGate darling. He's a darling? A darling? No. He was telling a self-righteous interviewer the real deal, and your heavy-duty scrutiny and searching for wrongthink is fucked. That doesn't make him an alt-righter. Anyway, let's see. Sherilyn Eaton responds, a mess, but they, quote, loved him before this, using it as a cover for harassing non-conservative black writers in the industry. To them, Priest is the only one who deserves to be there, and everyone else is an affirmative action hire keeping white men from jobs they deserve.
Who the fuck said that?
No one.
Who the fuck ever said that?
Okay, this is where shit's going to get ugly for me, okay? So Priest is championed while Coates, referring to Ta-Nehisi Coates, is called a racist. Ewing has Klan photos tweeted at her. Kwanzaa is bombarded with racist "we was Kangs" jokes, and Ao is tormented with racist abuse. Let me tell you something, Sherilyn Easton. Let me tell you something. All right. The person you're talking about, Ta-Nehisi Coates, does not mind being publicly racist as fuck. The guy is a race hustler. Everything he writes about is based upon race. He couldn't write anything otherwise. He
Well,
would be
he only-
expected to write it.
No, he can't be racist. He hates white people.
That's what well, there's another thing. What are you saying, Cheryl Lynn Eaton? It's not racist because black folks are doing it? Kwanzaa? Are you fucking kidding me? Kwanzaa off of Jeffo? The guy who wrote a series Black as Fuck that's racist as fuck, and then wrote the sequel to it called White, and it's all racist. White man takes over the government and black people are being oppressed because of their superpowers. It's ham-fisted, unimaginative bullshit, and the greatest social justice warrior in the entire industry that uses people of dark complexion as a fucking shield. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Mark Waid. Couldn't wait to fucking work with him so he could have a full-blown fucking racist on his squad to prove how woke he is.
Well, he obviously isn't racist, Polly. He knows a black man. It works.
See what I'm saying?
It works for them.
For the shield. You see what I'm saying?
Does that make Mark Waid the plantation owner?
Oh God.
Mark Waid is just, oh my God, that guy's fake as fuck. And he couldn't wait to pull in every single person that Richard Meyer has ever had any kind of interaction with that was slightly spirited discussions, all the way to outright angry back and forth, and brings them all into his little fake ass comics group because he's currently being sued by Meyer. If that's not usury, what the fuck is?
I mean, we can go down the list of all the people that she mentioned there. You know, Ewing, Kwanzaa, Ayo, and Coates. All of these people have done things to provoke the responses that they get.
Let me ask you something. Show me where Christopher Priest ever did anything as remotely as racist as Ta-Nehisi Coates. Anything as remotely racist as Kwanzaa. As for We Was Kang's jokes, you understand exactly why he's having that thrown at him. It's not that he's a black creator. There are plenty of black creators in comic books. Plenty. Notice you didn't name any of them. You just named the racist ass ones.
Mm-hmm.
I find that a little wild. Why are those three being targeted? Because, well, they're being targeted because they're black. But wait a minute. There's plenty of black creators and they're not being targeted. I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because they don't write racist as fuck stories. Maybe it's on, Ta-Nehisi Coates taking jobs and keeping white men from the jobs they deserve, quote unquote. You mean Ta-Nehisi Coates, a guy who had never written a single piece of fiction in his entire life, but Marvel couldn't wait to get a hold of him for the notoriety of having that guy? He's never written fiction before. What the fuck is he doing writing comics? It's the same thing with Zoe Quinn. She's a white woman. Why did they bring her on? For the name recognition and the progressive points they score by having her there. She's never written fiction before. Yeah, they are taking jobs, not from white men, but from qualified people. None of these people are qualified to be doing the things that they're doing. But yet you cheer them on. And they're racist as fuck, and you're bemoaning the fact that people are calling them racist? Because why? Christopher Priest told a fucking shiltastic fucking editor or interviewer from Newsarama to go fuck themselves? Come on.
He didn't even do it that egregiously either. He didn't say fuck you, buddy. He was he very calmly and succinctly explained why everything that interviewer was saying was complete bullshit. That's even better in my opinion.
I don't know why, but my instincts are telling me that Cheryl Eaton is just painfully misinformed on things.
Mm-hmm. I don't think you're far off the mark. I think most people are. Most of the people that would come out and deride ComicsGate don't know anything about it. They're just told by other people that it's all about alt-right, racist, homophobes, and they hate black people writing comics.
And this is the thing I was saying of what's his name again? The guy who plays Agent Coulson. I forget the actor's name in the MCU films.
Remember.
So, well, in any case, the actor who plays Agent Coulson, for those of you know, he did an interview with a shiltastic company called The Nerdist. And he came on there and he was talking about Captain Marvel, saying, well, there's been a lot of backlash online, the interviewer says, to Captain Marvel happening. To this movie coming out, rather. What do you think about that? And the actor who plays Coulson goes into the
Clark Gregg
goes into this thing where he says, it really annoys me that people have this problem with people who don't look like them having a hero in a film. Like they're sort of like these ancient losers lumbering off to the tar pits, insinuating they're dinosaurs from a bygone era.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, I'm willing to bet Clark Gregg, was that it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm willing to bet that he was shown, and this was our guest quiz, remember, that a bunch of tweets from these people that are like, fuck that bitch, she should stay in the kitchen making sandwiches or whatever the hell, garbage. You know what I mean? And it's like, do you know that there's a whole bunch of people out there saying this? And it's like, no, that's not what the majority were saying. You just picked out the fringe bullshit from the people that were trying to be edgy and catch attention. That's not ComicsGate, not the majority of it. I've never heard Van Sciver talk like that. I've never heard Richard Meyer talk like that.
I've never talked like that.
Yeah, I never heard Tug talk like that. Never heard Yellow Flash talk like that. These are the highest profile people. If you go find someone who's got 5 followers while they're following 112 people on Twitter, okay, they say some edgy shit to catch some attention. So what? Do you want me to start pointing out the anti-ComicsGate people talking about I wish veterans were referring to Richard Meyer, were blown up by an IED, or Mags Visaggio threatening Richard Meyer's life to beat him to death with a baseball bat?
Well, to be fair, the baseball bat wasn't just Richard C. Meyer. It was all cis people.
Oh, yeah. Who was the one that said, if I had a button right now to kill every GOP member in Washington, I'd push it without hesitation? Who was that?
Oh, I don't remember.
That was a comics pro.
Yep.
I mean, this is if you were to show this stuff to Cheryl Lynn Eaton, I am sure she would make the reasonable claim. I think that these were people that were just flustered and said some dumb shit when they weren't thinking, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, you know what?
Fair.
You're probably,
fair.
I'm sure you're probably right. Yeah. That's probably a fair assessment.
But why won't you give us the same consideration?
That's what I'm saying. I get the instinct, honestly, that she's just extremely misinformed and has been shown some bad shit. And it's like, do you realize the racist memes that these people get thrown at them all day long? And it's like, yeah, that's kind of undeserved. And it's like, yeah, they're fucking with them because these are people that are in a position to change the industry, meaning Kwanzaa and Ta-Nehisi Coates. I mean, Ta-Nehisi Coates is no small time guy. For Christ's sake, he's writing Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
Poorly.
Thank you. Very poorly. Well, in any case, last tweet I'm going to read from this because it goes on and on from Sherilyn Eaton. Priest isn't one of those, quote, always online creators. And because of his age and religion, has views that are dated on gender and sexuality, even though he is progressive regarding race. I suspect he will be taken advantage of by Dynamite and alt-right groups. Wow, that's not condescending to him at all, is it?
Why? People can be traditionalists. They can hold the views that they hold so long as they're not illegal, and they are not yet. Why do things have to be your, quote, progressive to be correct?
I'm seeing Miami Vice, man. You think that person works for Vice? I'm going to bet they do. I mean, I might be wrong about that, but I've got a feeling that that's not just a turn of phrase, Miami Vice, Fucking Vice. Anyway. Oh, man, that really, God damn it, that really brought me down.
No. Miami Vice man is a nobody.
Really?
But he has his profile only says he him in his profile.
What are his followers following?
Following 313, followers 1,352.
Well, at least he's got more followers than following. That's something.
Yeah,
that's definitely something.
Got more
okay, he's not. Oh yeah, me too. Meta Winter says Miami Vice is a cop show. Yeah, I know. I said outside the Miami Vice thing. I think that's a play on words to Miami Vice as in the magazine.
Yeah, the magazine Vice. Yeah.
It was also a film by Michael Mann that I was really hoping was going to be fucking awesome because I'm a huge fan of Michael Mann's written and directed films. But Miami Vice, the film, just sucked. It was disappointing.
Yeah.
God damn, I wanted it to be good, and the whole thing just ended up being a way of making what's his name? The guy played Bullseye in the Daredevil movie.
Colin Farrell?
Colin Farrell. His least known role ever. That's the one I know. it was a way of making Colin Farrell and the other guy. What's his partner's name? The guy who played Ricardo Tubbs. Help me
I
out
don't
here.
know. I didn't see the movie.
The guy with an incredibly receding hairline that ridiculously kept the same Caesar cut going for years until people made fun of him
Jamie
so bad.
Foxx?
Jamie Foxx. It was a way of making Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx look hyper cool for 2 hours. That's what that film amounted to, and it was disappointing.
They
Johnny
failed.
Hellcat says he's blocked by Chuck Wendig. Join the club, buddy. Me too.
Oh, really? I've not checked. Hold on. Let me see if I'm blocked by Chuck.
Yeah, I am.
I am too.
Duck Dog, Johnny Hellcat, and Jesse Green all said, Jamie Foxx. Did they recognize the description by the Ricardo Tubbs line or the incredibly embarrassing receding hairline and
Hairline.
thing?
Hairline, definitely.
Chuck Wendig. I'm blocked! Woo! All right.
Yeah.
One of us.
Yeah, Browncoat Boaz says Colin Farrell was in Miami Vice. Yeah, he played Sonny Crockett. Is that the character's name?
Yeah, sure. This is the movie version, not the TV show.
That's right. Yeah. What's your point?
Well, making sure the audience knew that.
Oh! I thought you were saying it to me. I'm like, come on, Jack. You're always talking about you're old as fuck. You didn't watch Miami Vice back in the day?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't
Why
like
not?
it. I thought it was boring. After they got rid of the alligator, it was stupid.
they had an alligator.
Yeah, Crockett used to have an alligator as a pet on his boat, but the alligator actually started attacking people in real life, so they had to get rid of it.
So I'm curious what you guys think about this. Over here, share. Tom King co-writing New Gods film with Ava
Ugh.
DuVernay.
Oh my god, will it be about his weird mommy issues?
I think it will. Yes.
It's going to be... Man, if it's New Gods, then it's going to be Big Barda and Mr. Miracle.
Yeah.
I like Big Barda.
I like the New Gods characters okay. I just don't like Tom King, and I don't trust him. He's a terrible writer. He might have one or two good ideas, but his weird personal issues get filtered in no matter what he's working on. Dude's got problems.
Yeah. Grisella says, "Oh, geez, I'm not blocked by Chuck Wendig."
Keep
I
trying,
said,
Grisella.
Give it time, Grisella. If you're following Polydub, me or Jack, then you'll probably get nailed in the string eventually.
I mean,
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm one of those people on Twitter that it's mostly comic stuff and stuff related to, like, I don't know, Ranting Monkey and, you know, interacting back and forth with Jack and Quiz and shit. So it's not really heavy. So I'm totally happy when people follow me. It's just at Poly_dub. But you, all jokes aside, run the very serious risk of being blocked by a bunch of anti-ComicsGate people. I'm pretty sure I've got a blockchain running off of my name. Quiz does, I'm sure. Like, it's motherfuckers, man. Have you guys checked to see if you're blocked by Shamblu after she went
Oh,
live
I am.
again?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
My
Oh,
pinned tweet
yeah.
is still of Shamblu, and it's yeah, I'm blocked by her.
I actually
I mean, she-
blocked her before she could block me. Don't worry, Grisella. The blockchain comes for all of us.
Yeah,
Feel
eventually.
free to-
Don't worry, Grisella, you'll get it. It's
I think that's the only time I ever actually tweeted at Shamblu, and it took her so long and the use of a blockchain to get me.
I find that funny. I mean, her and SJW Spider-Man both obviously, like, after they got suspended from Twitter again, came back and they had protected all their tweets, right? And they went through a mass purge. People have looked how many tweets they had before, and then after they unprotected them, wild difference in numbers. Yeah, they went through a tweet purge. They went back through everything they had ever written, where they called. Okay, for those of you who don't know, there was they had been running around and they were on. There were two social justice warriors and huge anti-comics gators online on Twitter exclusively, right? They've been running around with the hashtag deplatform hate idea, which is, I want you to bring me scalps, which was an actual line from Shamblu herself, saying, I want you to go around and red flag any ComicsGate account because they're supporting hate. They they're transphobic, they're racist, they're bigoted, they're anti-Semitic, the list, all of the isms, right? And so therefore flagging them as deplatforming hate, they shouldn't have a platform. And it's like, fuck you guys. No one's more bigoted than you bastards. You got to be fucking kidding me. But they were doing that. So one of the responses to this was some clever bastards changing their pronouns online to they, them. And then whenever Shamblu or SJW Spider-Man called them he, they would report them for dead naming them for transphobia.
Misgendering.
Yeah, for misgendering them, which is a form of targeted harassment as far as Twitter terms of service are concerned. And so they got flagged over and over again. So in other words, they fought them on their own level. And guess what happened? They got suspended again and again. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. You don't like when people are misusing the deplatforming system to fuck with people that they don't agree with? You guys have been doing that for months. You've had hundreds of accounts suspended for this, and you were proud of it. For a long time, Shamblu's top pinned tweet was a scrolling list of all of the accounts she had personally got suspended. That's how proud of it she was. And then she got bit by that bug. She got fucked over by that same technique. And all of a sudden she's like, I'm a victim of targeted harassment. This is how they roll. It's unbelievable. So I think they went through a mass purge and got rid of any past tweet that could be possibly misinterpreted in such a way. And now they're running mass blockchains. I can't even read their stuff unless I sign out and go look at it or use one of my sock accounts. Not that I have those. I meant hypothetically, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because that's against Twitter's TOS.
Yes, it is. Although Shamblu and SJW Spider-Man both have sock accounts that they personally admit to and write so in the bio. But does that get them kicked off the platform? No, they're right thinkers. It's fine. How many times have they been suspended and come back? It's like, notice people that are wrong thinkers never get suspended and come back. They're just plain old gone. Ugh, pisses me the fuck off.
Should.
Yeah, ex Bubba Hotep. Hypocrisy is currency for them. It is. It is.
And they're rich. I'm rich, biatch.
So we kind of talked about this stuff offline, but I'm curious if you guys have rethought. So Spawn's at 297, right? Coming up on that big 300. Todd McFarlane has returned. So far behind. Well, see, that's part of what I want to talk about. Spawn's been around for a long time. Todd McFarlane, of course, a creator and artist of it. The guy's a multi-millionaire. Todd McFarlane. He doesn't need to return to writing a comic, drawing it, but he is, and he has. And the last few issues have been drawn by him. He's back at his drawing easel, man, and he's going to be doing the big 300 like landmark whatever issue. Does it excite you guys to want to go check out Spawn again, to give it another shot?
Oh, absolutely. I've never lost interest in Spawn. It's just my problem is my digital copies of around 200 are corrupted. So I need to figure out a way around that and be able to actually read it.
You know what? I've been honestly thinking of, Jesus, it's at 297. Man, I will not have time to reread 299 issues to get ready for 300 before it drops. 60 days from now? No, I don't have to. I've got a day job, God damn it.
Not with that pussy attitude. Quit your job. Focus only on Spawn. You can do it.
Hey, I told you at the beginning of this stream I started rereading Daredevil from #1. I don't have time to reread 2 entire series.
I'll say this for Spawn, it goes quickly. I read through, I want to say the first like 70 issues back when I was working on second shift, and all I really had to do was just be a warm body in a room. That was all that was expected of me on that shift. So I just brought in my computer and was reading Spawn the entire time.
I'm not gonna lie, that would be pretty sweet if my job allowed me to just like, well, you just have to be here in case something happens or the phone rings or whatever, right? And I could just like read comics. Oh yeah, man, I definitely pile through 1 to 299. And yeah, it's a fast read. It's not like Spawn comics are dense in terms of their storyline. They're just, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Spawn. I'm not criticizing at all. And McFarlane's art, it's gotten even more wild and more complex. That guy is like really refined his style. If you check out any of his new stuff, I don't. I think it's super cool. This guy's a fucking multimillionaire. He doesn't need to come back. He's doing it because he wants to. That's so cool.
Well, I don't know.
I
I
mean-
mean how? Because I'd heard rumors about McFarlane going broke. Because
Nope.
like a lot of his endeavors ended up only lasting for a little while, and then the roof broke on it.
All you need is focus, Polly. Focus.
That's right. Evolved potatoes. Sleep is weakness entering the body.
If I told my doctoral supervisor that I'm rereading if I'm reading comics at all, he'd come down on me so hard. Like, it's like, what are you wasting your time for that? Anyway, no. Remember when we looked it over? He's still president of Image. Not that they're kicking ass, but it really does go Marvel, DC, Image in terms of money. Now, Image, of course, is a leap away from DC and Marvel, the big two, but they're still up there. They're number 3. They've got like a 4 to 5% market share. That's saying a lot for a smaller company. And he's president. And McFarlane Toys still rocking it hard, man. The guy, yeah.
I thought that went bust too. Apparently, I went and looked up celebritynetworth.com. McFarlane is net worth $300 million. Okay.
I mean, I think we can all know that like those numbers don't mean shit. Because remember Van Sciver looking himself up, and what was he worth? Like a couple million, and he was just laughing his ass off. He was like, "Yeah, I wish," you know.
He just bought a new house, so he ain't hurting.
Yeah, tell me about it. We talked about that one, Jack.
Ethan
It's kind of a bad look at times, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, what is it?
Ethan. Well, no. Okay. Ethan Daniel Van Sciver net worth $18 million.
That's probably way too high, but I'm sure he's worth a couple mil.
Oh yeah, man.
Maybe.
Make no mistake about it. There is I'm not saying it's the lone reason. No. I'm just saying it's a factor in the mix of Comic Pro's anger at Van Sciver. Not only is he the highest profile ComicsGate guy, that's a lot of the reason, but it's like, and he's extremely successful in terms of like financially, money.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're aware that like crowdfunding Cyberfrog, he's made more money off of that than they're going to make in the next 10 years, literally. And they know it, and it burns them.
Well, maybe they shouldn't be crap at their jobs.
Well, maybe they shouldn't be 100% supportive of an industry that isn't actually financially supporting them in any kind of way that's viable. Maybe they should have bigger problems with the way that page rates are paid out and the way that creator-owned properties are legally work. Maybe those should be the things you spend your time bitching about on Twitter instead of looking for Nazis hiding under your bed every night. That's just my opinion. What do I know?
It's so strange to me. You know, I sit there and I think about it. I'm like, back not even 10 years ago, the person that you could sit there and easily point to looking for Nazis under the bed was Glenn Beck. Why did we pull such a strong 180 to all of these fucking lunatics crying Nazi everywhere? It's stupid,
dude.
Every single person has always used that excuse is a fucking retard.
Nazis are like dust bunnies. They hide in little nooks and crannies. You can't get rid of them. They just keep springing up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Let's before we get into some more depressing stuff, and we're going a little bit long. I have to get going before too long, but I do want to touch on two things that are more fun and interesting. I wish, but no, I won't be touching any boobies on stream. That's no.
I mean, if any boobies want to come to my camera, I'll gladly touch them on stream. But
well, he said he wanted to touch two things. That's just where my head went.
Oh,
what were you talking about then, Polly?
Well, okay, I'll give you guys the choice. Do we want to talk about a really cool comic or some unfortunate things that happened to some really cool comics?
Ooh.
Not picking.
Quiz?
How about some unfortunate things that happen to good comics?
All right.
Get our hackles up again.
Well, I hope it doesn't. I hope we're just going to kind of like lament it and then move the hell on. Hold on. Did I close that window? No, I didn't. Good for me. Okay. Denver police looking for suspect who stole more than $42,000 worth of comics from Mile High Comics. Ooh, Mile High Comics is a legend in the retail field, right, Jack?
Yep.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
in what, Colorado?
Yeah, Denver.
Denver, yeah. It legendary. I mean, they even had satellite stores. Their name got so big. Those closed down, but their main one, oh, it's still good to go. So here it is, 14 comic books, and they're worth 42 grand. This is going to hurt to see what was stolen. I don't even know. I wanted to find out live. So here we go. A burglar smashed through a locked glass showcase at Mile High Comics and cut himself. Good. Well, stealing 14 comic books worth more than 42 grand. He then tried to clean up the blood with Windex and toilet bowl cleaner. Denver police are investigating the burglary at 4600 North Jason Street that occurred early Sunday, where a man, shown in the surveillance footage, forced entry into the store and stole items, according to Denver police. Police would not detail what items were stolen, calling it evidentiary information. But Mile High Comics owner Charles Rosansky listed on the Facebook the items were stolen, including a Superman comic book, a signed Spider-Man comic book, and an Avengers comic. The comics the man took were high-end collectibles or more popular comics, said manager William Moulton. The person was clearly targeting specific items, he said, because he only took 14 comics when there were about 100 in each of the 3 glass display cases. The Justice League comic stolen was the first edition, worth about 15 grand. Motherfucker.
Wow.
Yeah.
He knew what he was after.
Yeah, he had gone in,
cased the
looked
store.
around.
Well, see,
Yeah,
that's the thing,
yeah.
is that if you steal high-profile items like that, even if they are graded, they're serialized. So as soon as he tries to fence it, someone's going to immediately nab him.
Were they
Yeah.
were they graded by CGC or were they graded by Overstreet Price Guide?
Well, if
they're not encapsulated,
yeah,
he could just sell them anywhere. And he might even be just stealing them for his collection. And if you stole them in the capsules, he'll pop them out and resubmit them for grading.
Yeah, I guess.
Wow. Moulton said the suspect appeared to have thoroughly scouted the store and knew where the security systems were. Rosansky released a still image of the suspect from the surveillance footage and said he was the only person in the store in the middle of the night. He didn't wear a mask? Let's see if this will play properly. I don't know if I want to watch this. This is going to be hard to watch. Okay, there he is. He's coming in. He's walking up. He's walking over. Is this going to get my channel copywritten struck? Probably. Oh, he is wearing a mask. And he looks, and no. And he's over, and he's looking around, doing the rubberneck. Oh.
Yeah, look, it's like probably 2 a.m. Like there's anyone in there.
Yeah. He's got a hammer, and he's just like, there it goes.
Ooh.
Yep, I'm just going to grab this one. And over here. Smash, motherfucker. This fucking guy, how did he cut himself, this idiot?
They're probably putting his arm in. He probably cut himself on some glass.
Yeah, remaining shards and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, dude, like he bang, takes one comic. Next display case, bang, takes another comic. Yeah, this is extremely targeted, you know? Yeah, I'll grab this one too. Why not?
Yeah.
And while I'm at it, I'll grab this new Captain Marvel. It's surely a good read.
That'll be worth the most.
He should have worn a Batman mask, Ryan Walters said.
That'd have been awesome.
Well, there's enough of that. This idiot walking around. Fuck this guy, man.
Yeah, fuck that guy. In other news, I found something that I really kind of like. Mainly because I think the person that wrote it is a little creative, at least.
All right.
This is from May of this year, so not too long ago. Schaumburg, Illinois. Bar fight at Warhammer convention enters 3rd day.
What?
Is this real?
A bar fight that broke out near a local Warhammer tabletop gaming convention has now entered its 3rd consecutive day of conflict, as its participants continue to slowly, methodically attack one another. The incident began in a bar outside of the Renaissance Schaumburg Convention Center as two Warhammer fans got into a heated debate about which edition of the tabletop game is better. Bar staff told police that the verbal altercation soon escalated, causing the patrons to spend a full day reorganizing the bar's furniture to create the optimal battle terrain. Usually these fights just kind of last a minute or two and then we toss them out, the bar owner Sully Bosquet explained, but these guys stood around for hours mulling over who they wanted fighting on their side and then painting some custom insignias. The first punch wasn't even thrown until they were 26 hours in. Despite the fact the fight phase has now started, the pace has not picked up as each punch, kick, broken bottle had been preceded by a list of careful preparations, including measuring the distance of the victim and obscenely cross-checking data sheets. Unsure of how to deal with the situation, Schaumburg police called in Warhammer Manufacturer Games Workshop to provide assistance. However, the company's presence only exacerbated the problem as they imposed a new series of rules on the conflict, forcing the fighters to stop and read through the new books every few hours to make sure the fight remained tournament legal. Honestly, I don't even know if there's a crime happening here. One puzzled Schaumburg police officer wondered. They aren't even landing hits most of the time. They're just done, or when they're done attacking, they just stop to check everyone's morale. It's pretty civil conflict, all things considered. So far, the bar fight has racked up nearly $8,000 in damages, which includes $6,500 bar tab, a 6.25 sales tax, and 20% gratuity. Each person involved in the fight has already resolved to help pay off the debt by cutting their next Warhammer purchase in half. We've launched a new podcast. Oh, okay, well, don't care about that. But yeah, it was pretty funny.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. There, that sums up my feelings on the matter. Okay. Here's a super quick article, Reasons to Celebrate. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Ryan North announces Marvel's unbeatable Squirrel Girl ends after issue 50.
Oh, God, it got 50 issues?
It went all the way to 50, guys.
Oh, my God. Aren't they worried about all the Scholastic buys?
Well, you know, see, this is the thing. It's Jesus Christ. I should say reason to celebrate. It's just like a predictable thing happens predictably is the headline. You know, it's.
I would say no. The predictable thing is going to be next month when they say new volume of Squirrel Girl going to be coming out later this month.
Right. Of course. It's like Captain Marvel, the new series that just premiered. It's going to be canceled because ain't no one going to buy it. And then they'll do it again because, yep.
Jedi said in chat, guess it's not that unbeatable.
I do love the line. I'm proud that the character became so popular enough to be the core of a cartoon series, Marvel Rising. No. It was forced enough to put it down people's throats so they could do what? Put a female-centric comic book series starring Captain Marvel, America Chavez, Squirrel Girl, all of like the most unpopular characters, and Marvel. Gwenpool. Is Gwenpool in Marvel Rising?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I don't think she is.
So, but...
To take all these unpopular characters because Sana Amanat, who's trying to make Marvel into a lifestyle brand, said so, and therefore, you know, and it's like, no, it wasn't. Squirrel Girl's the most likable of all of those characters. I would have to say she's a great little sort of like what's the word? Like not a joke character,
silly,
but like
just a
silly. Yeah, she's a silly character, and she's
Silly Billy. If you wanted to get your boy Zach on there,
yeah, but I mean,
Silly Billy.
Like Impossible Man in Marvel. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, but she was part of the Great Lakes Avengers, which were a joke anyway. So it works for that, but not on her own. And she's
supposed to be a fun character, and you guys are like trying to make like people like, oh yeah, she's seriously like a hot character. Everyone can't wait to buy the comics. And it's like I think you're missing what's charming about the character. She has the power of like to communicate with squirrels. It's hilarious, and funny things happen. That's what it's for. Come on. Anyway,
I'm glad it's ending.
Yeah, the cancelable Squirrel Girl BG says, yeah, well, it ain't gonna last. Okay, so let's go on to something cool before we wrap it up with something that's totally not cool but predictable too. So Jack and I were talking the other night when we were off stream, and I showed him a type of comic book that I wasn't even aware existed, to the point where, yeah, we both went out and threw money down on it right away because it was just the coolest fucking concept ever. Look at this shit. Batman, The Dark Knight Unwrapped by David Finch. There's a whole number of these unwrapped editions. There's a quiz. Jim Lee's Suicide Squad is done in an unwrapped edition. You ever heard of these?
No.
Neither did we.
Yeah, I had never heard of these, and they're the coolest idea. Strictly pencils the whole way through.
Oh my god, that sounds awesome.
And I love me some David Finch. You guys know that? Look at the art. So anyway, look at the comic. It's digital overlaid word bubbles and narration bubbles over top of strictly pencil work. I love it so much. It's such a cool idea. And yeah, man, I threw money down right away. I was totally down for this. Look how awesome. And he's using the original, what they put to print are the original sketch sheets that they work off of. You can see the blue lines.
Mm-hmm.
If you can make them out for the...
yeah, those are comic pads. You can buy them at any Dick Blick store.
And that's what went to print. How cool is that?
Yeah.
I love the phrase unwrapped. Like no inking, no colorization, just strictly pencil work by the original artist.
I feel like if I were to buy this and read it, though, I would have this psychological effect. It's like I don't want to touch the paper too much because I'd feel like I'd be smearing the pencil.
The graphite?
It's purely psychosomatic, but yeah.
These are comics without the condom.
So,
Yeah.
Unwrapped.
Dude, the David Finch, like, okay, so they're all in hardcover, right? Because it's nut bars like us that want stuff like this. And of course we want it in hardcover because that's just cool. But Jack, what are they, $24? I mean, fuck.
This one was 22.
Yeah, Jim Lee's was more because he's Jim Lee.
It was like 25. Yeah. The most expensive one was like $30.
That's not bad.
No.
Yeah. So the other one that I want to buy, I just don't have the money for it, is the Court of Owls Unwrapped.
Court of Owls. That was a good story.
Yeah, man. So I mean, look at the full double spread page of the fucking Batcave. Are you so cool?
It is.
Yeah, and David Finch, man, a fairly recent discovery for me, but he's in my top 5 now because just the guy's talent, man. It's unbelievable. I love his style. But anyway, really, really interesting way of doing comics. And Jack and I were both joking. Why hasn't Marvel done something like this? What's wrong with you? You guys have no ideas. DC's got all the ideas. You know what I mean? So anywho, that was the cool thing for the week that I came across, and I'm down for that in a big fucking way, man. I love the concept. And DC doing noir. You know, this strictly black and white Sin City style of heavily over inked stuff. Love it. Marvel, you guys are behind the times, man. I don't understand. If it wasn't Disney backing you, shoving your shit down everyone's throats, DC would be the one on top, not you guys, because you guys are...
Polly, do you really, really want a Captain Marvel noir?
You know what? That's exactly what they would end up doing, isn't it?
Yep. And we all know it.
Yeah. I say the thing about it is that we need to realize that Marvel, at least in terms of its comics, is beyond saving. The only thing that will help Marvel's comics right now is complete and total annihilation. It needs to be burnt to the ground, the earth salted, moved to someplace else, and then slowly and steadily grow up the brand again. Because right now, everything it produces is absolutely cancer.
I don't even think it needs to be burned to the ground. I hear you. I understand what you're saying, and I've heard a lot of people say that. But in my opinion, get rid of it's a top-down thing. Get rid of Sana Amanat, the person, and CB Sobolski. Listen, that guy obviously has no decision-making power. Replace the people who do have decision-making power. Here are the new senior editors' editorial mandates. No more of this shit, no more of that shit, no more of this, and here's the direction that we're going. Because, Sana Amanat is making calls of, this is the direction we're going, so everyone's following them. I don't think it needs to be burnt to the ground. I think they've just got shit, poor leadership that are chasing a phantom audience that will never materialize.
Yeah, well, they've got ideologues in charge, too. They got to get rid of Brevoort and Jordan White. Once they do that, and they get rid of Sana Amanat and maybe probably CB Cebulski. I think he's just a little yes doughboy. You get rid of those people and replace them and tighten up your continuity. Get rid of 3/4 of your titles. If they get it down to 25 to 30 titles, I think they could do fine. But
I think they need to keep those shipment numbers high, man. I really. Anyway, we're getting to some inside baseball shit, but yeah, BG says nerd. I worked hard for my nerd cred, man. I'm proud of that shit. Are you crazy? It's
for the record, nerds are smart and know things, and that's not me. So I'm more of a geek.
Yeah.
I don't know, Jack.
Geeks are circus freaks that bite the heads off of animals. So.
Yeah.
You are by far the farthest gone of all three of us. So, man, just own that shit, okay?
Never.
Oh, here's one thing that I wanted to touch on briefly, mostly just to make fun of Salon, Salon.com I'm talking about. A horror comic for the Trump era, author of Infidel on What's Scary Right Now, comics writer Porn Sack.
Yep.
Porn Sack.
I made fun of that in my video on Infidel. Come on.
I've never seen it.
His name before.
For Christ's sake, his name is Porn Sack. Look at
what was the name of the other person? Something Boo?
Sweeney
Boo. Sweeney Boo
Sweeney
and
Boo.
Porn Sack.
Yeah, that's a superhero for the porn industry. My name is Porn Sack, and this is my sidekick, Sweeney Boo.
P-shet shot. Porn Sack P-shet shot.
Porn Sack piece of shit? What?
Well, I don't know. P-I-C-H-E-T-S-H.
That doesn't seem like a real name.
Well, it's a foreign name.
Well, in any case, comics writer Porn Sack on his award-winning graphic novel Infidel, a haunted house story about bigotry. Because, of course.
Guess who it's bigotry against?
All the LGBT LMNO POCs?
No, a Muslim.
Oh, of course. There you go. Yeah. Well, so anyway, infidel, that should have been the clue. I just want to point out something real quick about Salon. I don't know if you guys know, but they're currently up for sale to themselves.
I heard that.
As little sense as that makes, and that's why they're having to go to the securities.
I'll buy Salon.com for $1.
Well, they're selling it, relatively speaking, for not much more than that. They're selling themselves to themselves, and they're having to go through the Security and Exchange Commission, the SEC, to okay the transfer because it's a little weird. So they're kind of like, is all the accounting in order here? So they're going through the SEC to be able to accomplish it. Now, keep in mind, this was a company that was assessed 5 years ago at $190 million, if memory serves. $190 million. Okay. They're selling themselves right now to themselves for $5 million. Okay. But it's not even for $5 million, because if you look into the numbers, and you don't have to go all, accounting heavy duty sheet work to understand this. It's available in all kinds of articles. All you got to do is look up salon.com for sale and you'll see the numbers of what I'm talking about. They're selling themselves to a private equity firm, sort of, that is called salon.com investments. That, like, words to those effects. You know what I mean? And the actual cash that's coming in the door to the tune of $500,000, $500,000. That's the actual cash that's coming in to buy them. The rest of the money is coming through promissory notes to be paid over a period of time if certain earnings expectations are met. If not, no money. So they have done so bad. Salon.com is ultimate clickbait bullshit. And all you got to do is just, why make up things? Let's just scroll down the side and see what their articles are. America was never a Christian nation. Okay. Trump bar won't ban the use of torture on girls. AOC to Pelosi, we have to move forward. Game of Thrones end was nearly perfect. Deutsche Bank hands over Trump records. That tells you everything you need to know about Salon.com right there in a nutshell. And then plus, you can't read anything from Salon with white people are bad, white people are wrong, fuck white people. Because, they're a clickbait bullshit. Guess where they're based, guys? Take a random guess. Go ahead.
Seattle.
Nope. Next.
San Francisco.
There you go. San Francisco. Well done. And they were founded when the San Francisco Examiner shut down, and they just hired all their staff. And $190 million when the internet, when clickbait shit was actually working. Fast forward a scant few years, they're selling themselves to themselves for actual cash of $500,000. Ouch. And
Man,
yeah,
if I could get a loan for like $501 and upbid them, could I like buy the company, turn it into an exact like 180, and then just sell it back to someone for $1 million? That sounds like a brilliant strategy. I mean, if I were a venture capitalist and I had the liquid assets, I'd do something like that.
See, I've complained about this, and you guys have listened. You kind of have heard me talk about this before. The only time comics come up in mainstream media is when they can talk about the first trans wedding in Batgirl number 45, the first Latina gay superhero in the form of America Chavez. It's firsts along those lines, or when something progressive is happening. Otherwise, they don't talk about shit when it comes to comics. They're not interested. They only use it for the purpose of pushing a given political angle. Case in point, a horror comic for the Trump era. Author of Infidel on What's Scary Right Now. Look at I'll only make you guys suffer with the first paragraph, okay? America under Donald Trump has witnessed an almost unprecedented increase in hate crimes and other right-wing political violence against Muslims, Jews, non-whites, and other groups. The incidents number in the thousands. The FBI, the Southern Poverty Law Center, and other organizations have extensively documented this nationwide pattern, as well as corresponding growth in hate groups inspired by Trump and the permissive environment for right-wing violence he and his supporters have generated. They're talking about a motherfucking comic.
I was gonna say, what does that have to do with the fucking comic book?
Nothing. It's a means to promote something. See what I'm saying? Salon, fuck you. You deserve your fall, as bad as it's been. Like, and having to sell yourself to, oh yeah, and so who are the investors coming in with the $500,000? They're not saying they're an anonymous group. Jesus Christ, who the fuck is moronic enough to buy you guys, yet ideological enough to think it's a good idea?
IDW?
IDW is not ideological. They're just horrible business people.
Well, yeah, but if you're going out of business, might not go out in style.
Hey, remember, Stan Sakai took Usagi Yojimbo over IDW. They can't be all bad. Shh, quiet. I'm hoping it's not going to be disastrous. Let me live in the dream, okay? He's a guaranteed seller in small amounts, and I think that's why they brought him on. It's like, this is definitely going to sell. It won't flop because he's always got his core audience, whom I'm proudly one of. But anyway, so there was that article. So let's go on to some true bullshit, shall we? Captain Marvel and the deleted scene. You guys heard about this?
Yes.
So Captain Marvel takes on toxic masculinity in new deleted scene. Don't tell her to smile. Jack, why don't you go ahead and describe to the best of your ability, succinctly as only you can, what happens in this deleted scene? Oh shit, did Jack drop?
His mic might not be working.
Quiz.
It's the Terminator. It's the Terminator. The guy says smile, and then she beats him up, steals his leather jacket and motorcycle.
That's it. Some guy tells her, okay, Jack, shoot, go ahead.
No, that quiz was right. It's the scene from Terminator, minus the fact that this guy doesn't do anything other than be a jerk.
How does he be a jerk?
Well, he says things like, "Can I have a smile?"
So yeah, he deserves to be beaten, broken bones from that handshake, as you see them having here. I'm not going to show this clip because that'll definitely get me a copyright strike. But yeah, you see them doing the handshake here. Shakes her in, and like she's like superhuman strength, right? So like crushes the fucking guy. Probably broke all the fucking bones in his hand, and then steals his clothes and his motorcycle.
And she also steals an outfit from a nearby store and almost causes a traffic accident.
But it's okay because, like, the whole thing around,
she's the hero, and you're supposed to love her.
Larson. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Like, Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger in T2, he was a fucking Terminator. Like, is that what you're Like, that's the only other comparison. Like, and it takes on toxic masculinity by telling her to smile. Chelsea Steiner, you're sick. You're fucking sick to take that away from that scene. You're fucking sick. Physical violence should be visited upon men when they tell women to smile. You're a fucking sicko. Okay, so it goes over here, and it's even Captain Marvel's deleted scenes aren't safe from men's bad opinions. I don't think they have bad opinions. I think you're a fucking sicko.
Well,
Look, if you knew,
let's hear from Rachel Leishman about how she's better than you.
Do you actually want to hear this article?
I mean,
no.
Well, I mean,
okay. Let's see.
If you knew how many hugs Daddy didn't give her, then you would understand why all men are evil.
Oh yeah, get this. I will read you the first 2 paragraphs to show you how incredibly sick and apologetic these people are. Her subline on a different, because they've got like 4 articles over at the Mary Sue on this deleted scene, and one of the subheadings for one of the articles is words to the effect of, "I would be okay with 2 hours of her slapping around with gross men." Gross men. So you want a film that's just violence being visited upon men to fill that hole in your soul, you sick bitch? Like, that's disgusting. I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch movies that are just violence against women. But supposedly that's toxic masculinity. I don't want to watch that. That'd be horrible. Just men beating up women. Why the fuck would anyone want to watch that? But she does. The fuck's your problem?
See, here's the thing, Polly. That is the correct opinion, though. That's the permissible opinion. We don't have real equality here, because if we did, then someone saying I am perfectly fine with watching 2 hours of men getting beaten up because they're men would not be championed by someone claiming to be for gender equality, which is what all feminists claim to claim.
Well, okay, I like to say, they claim that, right? Equality. Talk about a bastardization and putrefaction and rotting the fuck out of the meaning of that word.
Oh no, it's not equal at all. It's a faux pas. None of the feminist movement is about equality. None of it.
Jesse Green makes a great point here. Says not just men, even women hate this. And right away, Ebony Williams, I certainly do. Like, I've heard people talk about, like, I see why they deleted this. That makes you very unsympathetic to this bitch. Like, the character.
It makes her look like a supervillain.
Right? But yet, the people at the Mary Sue find it brilliant. Let's hear their description, okay? Just the first 2 paragraphs. I won't pain you with the whole thing. Rachel Leishman, yet again. In case you thought you were finally past the point. In case you thought you were finally past the point of having to deal with men's overzealous scrutiny.
Oh, the worst kind, men's.
Yeah. The consensus is now that she's unlikable and a, quote, villain, all because of a recently released deleted scene. In the scene, Carol is approached by a gross man, and when he tries to come on to her, she uses her power to take his bike and leaves. That's your whole description of that event? You sick bitch? Okay, she uses her power to take his bike and leave because he almost, quote, maims him. People, primarily men, are angry, which just shows you that guys have never been cornered by a man with no feasible means of escape.
What?
Hold on. Guys have never been cornered by a man with no feasible means of escape? You fucking lying idiot. You moron. You fool with no understanding of what it's like. Men have more violence visited upon them than women do, and bullies always pick on people that are smaller than them. What are you, like, have you never, like, every guy's taken a beating at some fucking point. Like, no feasible means of escape. It happens. Like, what are you, it shows that you guys have never been, at this point, I'm starting to see Mary Sue is not a bunch of feminists. I'm seeing it more like the Root, where they're like, when you read Root articles, they speak in an awareness that the majority of their readers are white folks, and they talk about it in a very meta sense. So to all the white folks or white people reading this, let me say that blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'm starting to think that this is written deliberately to outrage because they're aware most people are ironically reading their stuff. It's kind of tough for me to get very angry at this because I think you're deliberately trying to provoke, because I find it hard to believe you're this moronic.
No, I do believe that it's this moronic. I think they're preaching to the amen crowd. Those
Yes.
other bitter cat ladies hunched over their computers, sitting in their hoard, basking in the odor of cat feces all around them.
I think that you're both right, actually. I think that they have a cadre of audience that will always 100% agree with them. And that's the reason why this website still exists. I also think that there's a cadre of people like us who read their stuff because it's easy fodder, because it's nothing but nuclear hot takes. And that's also the reason why this website still exists. I mean, if we really were not looking for this specifically for content, to make fun of them, to get outraged by them, to get overblownly dramatically angry at the horrible misandry that they're saying, this website wouldn't exist.
This is our fault.
Who
It's part
I mean,
of our fault.
I mean, this stream started because we were talking offline about a whole bunch of this stuff, and we just said, fuck it, let's take it live. Who was it? All three of us who were talking about? Our guess is that Mary Sue is actually only one or two people, and they're a bunch of pseudonyms that they're writing under.
Yeah, I'd still say they're all Gail Simone.
Like the names, Princess Weeks and Rachel Leishman and Gail Stern. I'm not convinced that these are real people. I think there might just be one or two people, and they're writing under a series of nom de plumes, I think is the name.
I'd be willing to bet this is three people. They all know each other from real life. They met at Petco or some dog walk park where they took their cats and they all got kicked out or something like that. And they have different fake names that they rotate through. That's my guess. Although I still maintain that it's Gail Simone's cats.
Well, I think it's kind of funny, actually. Mary Sue used to have a whole bunch of male authors. The only article that they had written about Warhammer was several years ago. I want to say back in 2016. And of course, it's nothing but denigration of men. But that was written by at least the name there was a man, but had only written like 3 articles and was, I guess, not with the Mary Sue after 2016. So I don't know. It seems like this place is a revolving door for ideological bigots.
Well, it's called Purging the Patriarchy quiz.
And misandrists is the big thing.
The funny thing is when I go along, they said, if I already know what the story's about, like, it might be time to stop the Wild Ray parentage rumors for Rise of Skywalker. I don't even need to click on it. I'm willing to bet that she's a strong, independent woman in her own character, and it doesn't really matter who her parents are. So it's kind of sexist that you keep speculating on it. I'm willing to bet that's the gist.
Oh, she's the Mary Sue Jesus. What are you talking about? She doesn't have any parents.
Oh, Cheryl Tilbury, who I haven't noticed before. Thank you for joining. But it makes a good point. Yeah, hit that like button. I always forget to mention that. If you haven't already, we would really appreciate you hitting the like button. It absolutely does help. And a bunch of new subscribers after Monkey gave us a shout out on his last video. So that's awesome of him.
Thanks, Monkey.
Thank you, Monkey. And if you're new to the channel, by all means, welcome. And if you're listening in the future, please put comments, suggestions, etc., below. We get a chance to read all of them and a chance to respond to most of them. I did ask if anybody had any questions because we're not doing pitches tonight. And Shady Grin asked, no pitches, why? And Jack Gunsky said, oh, no pitches. That's my favorite part. Well, Jack, that's awesome. That's your favorite part. We all get a kick out of it, especially because we keep it a secret from each other what we're pitching. So it's a pitch to each other, you know what I mean? And the audience gets to come along for the ride. So I never know what these guys are going to come up with, and it's always fun to see. But we're going to be doing pitches later on this weekend because we're going to do a special one-off comic book curation live on the weekend, and we're going to save our pitches for then because a bunch of reasons. Jack's having internet problems. I got some shit that I got to go take off for soon, so I thought I'd just round the show off by asking if anybody had any questions. Functional says I can't tell him what to do. Oh, well. Shit. Did you guys ever hear Tom King got got to partner with Ava DuVernay. Yeah, we actually talked about that a little bit earlier. We already had a chance to go over that for the with Mr. Miracle. Help me out here, guys. I'm blanking.
New Gods?
Thank
Tom
you.
King? What?
Yeah, the New Gods thing. Yeah, we did. I got my fingers crossed it's not going to be bad.
It's going to be bad. It's Tom King.
Well, it's definitely going to be psychologically.
It's going to be 2 hours of Mr. Miracle looking at his belly button, playing with the lint. Because that's all it's going to be is a bunch of fucking psychotherapy navel gazing.
BG suggests, if you want a suggestion, how about starting on time? Ooh, bad burn for Jack. Well, Jack, you should really listen to the fans. They're telling you should be on time, and we'd appreciate if you were as well. Have you seen the Swamp Thing trailer? It premieres this Friday. No, I saw a fucking article for it, but I didn't get a chance to go watch it. You guys seen it?
Yes, it looks great.
Does it really?
You mentioned that when you had to come back in. It does look great. Cool. I can't wait for it. I think DC really does nail it with a lot of its TV show stuff. On the small scale for their VFX for their superpowers, it looks really good. So yeah, no, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I am too.
Ebony Williams asked me, wings or ribs? Wings you can get from any pizza place, so it's more readily accessible and easier to eat. But if I had the choice between wings or ribs all the time.
Pork or beef?
Pork.
Okay. What about you, Jack?
I like wings.
You like wings? Ebony asked that question of everybody. I remember coming up in Monkey in the Morning, and she says, "It's fine, Polly. I asked this of everyone." So you'd go wings, huh? Any flavor, particularly?
No, I like most of them.
That's cool. I had to go ribs and beef.
Like beef ribs.
Yeah, like the giant rack of ribs that Fred Flintstone gets at the end of every episode. That's what I love about beef ribs. Getting this big, huge. Oh yeah, that's where it's at. Instead of these tiny little greasy things. I mean, I like pork ribs, but beef ribs are where it's at, man. Sure.
No, if you're gonna go that distinction, then fuck both pork and beef, dude. Give me a crown rack of lamb.
Oh really?
And say that's fucking ribs. It's lamb ribs, and it is delicious.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're not like smothered in barbecue sauce and smoky.
Oh my god, you guys are making me hungry. Let's move on.
Front of Glass asks who put the ram in the Ramalama Ding Dong. That was Jacques Cousteau. Let's see who else.
But who put the bop in the bop shoo bop shoo bop?
That is a mystery for the ages.
No, it was President McKinley. Fuck, guys.
Oh,
right. Cheese or bacon? Oh, it's asked Browncoat Boaz. Cheese. So many varieties. Oh man, if I had to just pick one for the rest of my life, it'd have to be cheese. I'd miss bacon, but cheese.
No, bacon. I hate cheese.
I'm a cheese guy. Only because there's such a variety.
Quiz hates cheese, like for real?
Do. Yes, I do.
Wow. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that wasn't like medically intolerant, of dairy and shit.
Yeah, no, like I don't know. It's something about the texture and like the aftertaste of cheese. I can only handle it in small quantities, and even then, sometimes it ruins whatever it's on. Like I ask for Wendy's burgers without cheese because the American cheese they put on burgers at Wendy's is awful. It's awful.
And when you get it, do you check the burger? And if they have cheese on it, do you throw it back in the window and be like, "Look, bitch, I told you no cheese. Don't make me crawl through there."
No, I just sit there and say, "What if I was lactose intolerant?" This would be a lawsuit. But then again, I think the Wendy's around me employ literally retarded people sometimes because they get very simple things for orders absolutely wrong. So
like
Meta Winter asks
and cooking and
how are your mommy box destroyers? Hanging low, thank you very much.
Doing just fine.
A little bit to the right.
Nice. I personally dress to the left, but to each his own.
Yeah.
It's where's the one question I was looking at?
Frosted Glass Quiz refuses to watch cheese. I mean, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
Xbub Hotep asks, Polly Streamlabs, how is that going? Very well, actually. I've been pulling movie clips and animated GIFs and such to pop up when the various Streamlabs donations come in. I know I'm being optimistic that any actually will come in, but just in case, I'm getting organized for it. So yeah, it's actually coming along quite well. It's not so much the Streamlabs, it's more of the setting up the LLC for the PayPal that's operating behind it. That's what's taking so long, guys. I realize it's really quick to go sign up for Streamlabs. It's all the other jazz that goes along with it. But yeah, it's actually on its way, X-Bubba Hopetep. And everyone else who keeps asking me about it. I really hope that that's not just a meme, because y'all set me up to cry, man.
And you get absolutely no donations, and everyone's just making fun of you.
Well, if the fan mail I get from Jack in my DMs is any kind of indication, yeah, all the Streamlabs are going to be aimed squarely at him. In any case, I don't know. That Steve says, Polly, you need OBS to make that happen. Yes, Eve, I know. That's why I have OBS installed on my computer, but thanks for pointing that out.
I'll say he is planning on it, and he showed me up some mock-ups of a new better format comic book curation. I'm just waiting for him to do it.
Oh, hey, sorry. My Streamlabs just finally started working. Thank you, Jason Momoa. Polly doesn't have time to reread Spawn, but he has enough time to throw empty liquor bottles over my fence. That's very true.
Let me tell you something. Okay? Reading Spawn doesn't quell my aching loneliness, but Maker's Mark does, so leave me alone, all right? Gettysburg or A Bridge Too Far? Ooh, nice question, Gettysburg. Gettysburg is a fucking fantastic film. I mean, Stephen, I forgot his name. He plays Thomas Jackson, Stonewall Jackson. Damn it, I forgot his name. He also plays a super hardcore Marine in Avatar. Oh, what's his name?
Sam Worthington.
No, God, no. The hardcore Marine with the facial scars, with the big scars running down his face, and he's the one giving them what for. He's got a speech in Gettysburg that, man, it'll make a patriot out of a fucking Antifa member. I wish, but yeah, it's really outstanding. Stephen Lang, thank you very much, Jesse Green. Stephen Lang, yeah, underrated actor, man. That guy in both Gettysburg and the other film that Ted, what's his name, the former owner of TBS, not Nugent, totally different guy.
Nugent.
Nugent. I love all the people that came with Stephen Lang. Stephen Lang, great. I'm glad I'm not the only one who has recognized that guy as an actor. That's awesome. What is the weirdest sexual kink you have seen? That's a different and tough question, because I thought mid-sentence it was going to be Turner. Thank you, Ted Turner, Vortex, and Heroic Michael. Look at this, everyone. Turner. You guys are so fast. I blank out on names when I need them. It's wild. Yeah, Ted Turner did another movie. Gods and Generals. That's the name.
Oh God, yes. That was so long.
It was long, but if you're okay with the pacing, it's Stephen Lang again, man. Fuck.
And you're into the Civil War.
Yeah.
Those are the two required things.
Yeah.
I'll say I actually have a double feature with Gettysburg and Gods and Generals.
So, weirdest sexual kink? You guys can go ahead and answer that. I'll be happy to just sit here.
I've seen a woman in like a Lycra suit with she unzips her Lycra suit, and then a dude pours a pitcher filled with water and a live goldfish, several live goldfish, into her like Lycra suit, and then people on the outside just start like pinching the fish to death from the outside.
That just sounds dumb.
Well,
let's move on.
Yeah, okay. Jelly Potatomon says Robert Duvall, who plays Robert E. Lee, and no, wait a minute. That's not Robert Duvall. That's what's his name? Fucking Martin Sheen, actually.
Well, which movie are you talking about?
Gods and Generals, I believe, is where he plays. I've gotten those movies kind of blended. slightly because I watched them back to back. So I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Gods and Generals where Martin Sheen plays Robert E. Lee. And he does the most insulting version of a Virginia accent you've ever heard. I am Robert E. Lee. Like, it's just awful.
Dude is from like fucking the literal middle of Ohio. So
who? Sheen?
Martin Sheen, yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not like he's a bad actor. I'm a huge fan of Apocalypse Now, and he rocks that movie, but mostly because he was just playing his own drug, alcohol fueled self at the time.
Yeah.
Why do I still have this fucking thing up on the screen?
I don't know. Everybody's asking.
Well, it's because all of our opinions are wrong, Polly. We need to have constant reminders that as men, our opinions are automatically wrong. Quote Rachel Leishman here. She is always right. Yaz girls slay.
Okay, hold on here.
Yes, everything out of my mouth right there was awful. I understand.
Oh my God.
What?
Gods and Generals. That actually is
Robert Duvall. Yeah.
That is Robert Duvall. Yeah, because Brown Coat Boaz says, no, that's Duvall. And I'm like, okay, I might be wrong on that. Let me go look. So when the fuck did Martin Sheen play him?
In Gettysburg.
In Gettysburg. Okay. All right.
Jesse Green said that in chat if you were looking at the chat.
Well, it's moving fast and I've got like 5 screens to pay it. I'm sorry. Fine. Jeez. All right. In any case, that pretty much rounds up all of the questions. Chat, thanks for joining us. If you haven't already on your way out, please like. And if you have enjoyed what you've seen and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and share if you are so interested. Also, if you're listening in the future, please feel free to put comments beneath. And Jack has his own Twitter. You don't need to send his fan mail to my DMs, God damn it.
Don't need to, but I encourage them to.
No, keep sending them to Polly.
You're spiting them to send them to you, Quiz. Watch out, man. It's a
hit that like button like a goldfish in a micro suit.
Yeah, right.
All right. On that note, we got a bunch of edited videos coming up, and if you haven't already, we put up over the past week a couple of edited videos, and we've got a few more plus a live stream this weekend. So yeah, content is on the rise, and we're having fun doing it. So hope you're all here for it into the future. Thank you to all of our current audience members, by the way. When look at those numbers steadily rising, it's great to see you. Happy to see you guys come out. We love our audience. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not a time to fall silent, gentlemen.
I don't know.
I was reading chat, believe it or not, Polly.
We love our audience, right?
Yes.
Crickets. Good to see you. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Laters.
Take care, everyone.
Say bye, Jack.
I think he might be cutting out.
All right, for Jack, I'll say he doesn't care about our audience.
Bye, Jack.